Alright, well, let's see if this stream key is working. God bless. Okay. Or Sigmar bless. I don't know. Let's keep it thematically appropriate. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Except for this morning, I went to put on slippers that I hadn't worn in a while. I took them out of the closet in my hallway, and then there were rat poop in them, but I didn't realize until I put them on. Or mouse poops, not rat poops. And I was like, well, that's something I didn't need to deal with. Yeah, and then like I'm cleaning my feet, cleaning the floor where I stepped out, like, and then the local news is talking about Gene Hackman and his wife who died of hantavirus. So they're talking about like hantavirus in the background on the TV as I'm like doing this. So it's like, okay, all right. I don't need this right now. I got other things to worry about. Uh Their YouTube stream. Okay, that's a little bit different. So we are on a countdown right now, by the way, just to know, so you know. Mine is. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting tournament here at Fight the Tide. This time for charity here in the Onslaught series. I'm Corbeck. Alongside me, two veteran members of the community here, Incan and Noel, joining us here today to walk us through Tiers 1 and 2 of this tournament. Tomorrow, we'll have Tier 3 and 4, but today it is just 1 and 2, and for the next 3 hours, they will entertain you with their rat-slaying skills. Let's give our co-casters here an opportunity to give a chat. We'll start with you, Noel. What are you looking forward to here today?
Hi everyone, I'm Noel. Today we've got Legend DWONS / C1 DWONS and C3 DWONS, and the map pool is Against the Grain, Kazukhan Kazakit-Ha, Righteous.
Awesome. And what about you, Incan? What do you make of these maps that we're going to see here? Okay. Well, 1 second. I've done you a disservice. You're not live. I told you there would be issues. There's always something. Here I was so proud of this scene too, and that's the sad part. But we'll go ahead and go back and we'll transition to main camera there. My apologies for that. You should be live now, Incan, so go ahead.
Oh, I'm not live. Oh, okay.
You are now.
G'day. I'm Incan. I'm looking forward to the dwarf maps in particular. Just because those are very fun maps, and we haven't seen them before, as Noel said. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how the meta has shifted in the time between the last tournament that we hosted and this one, because there have been some changes. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be interesting.
Yeah, I think it definitely adds a certain element to it, right? And obviously people have changed and adapted some new maps as well, as you guys were mentioned. That's very interesting, right? It's going to really change, I think, the way that a lot of the teams handle it. And I look forward to seeing it. Of course, everything today is being done in the name of charity, and hopefully your guys' audio should come through on this screen. I think it is, but everything here today being done for APOPO. Thanks for saying it looked good, by the way. I appreciate that. We'll have it fixed tomorrow, I promise. But yeah, everything today is being done in the name of APOPO, which is a charity that basically researches ways to use rat-based detection methods for landmines. They're working on tuberculosis as well. They've trained and deployed over 300 African giant pouch rats across the world in Asia, Africa, the Middle East to look for and disable landmines. I actually heard about these guys when I was a student in college, like that would have been a long time ago. So they've been around for a while. I think we'll be yes, rats but friends. You'd be shocked to see it, but we'll be pushing them throughout the stream, giving you an opportunity to donate. But yes, everything today going for APOPO. And how much did you guys say we had raised for this already?
Oh, we're already over $4,000. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to check the exact figure, but yeah, we're already over four grand US dollars.
Wow, there you go. So a ton of money being raised by the stream here, and yeah, they do very good work, and it's very fascinating. If you ever if you want to go look at their website, I'm sure they maybe have videos of them at work. I've seen videos of them at work and know people who have worked with them as well. And if you happen to live in Southeast Asia, I know that they have a visitor center in Cambodia somewhere, so there you go. If you want to go check them out in person. But let's go ahead and jump into our teams here. So just a heads up before we jump in here to these teams. We have a lot of teams on the docket here today, folks. I think when I was counting, it was somewhere upwards of 18 tier 1 and tier 2 teams. Not all of them obviously from streamable regions. A lot of Chinese teams. We want to give a big thank you to all of our Chinese players who pitched in. Unfortunately, I don't speak Chinese, so I can't pronounce your team names, but we really appreciate you guys jumping in. And of course, we have a bunch of European and North American, Southeast Asian, and South American teams all getting involved. So we'll do our best to give everyone screen time here today. There are a lot of you, though, so if your team doesn't get a chance to appear on screen, we'll apologize, but we'll make sure that everybody at least gets a mention here on the stream. But let's start with one of our teams here who are, by the looks of it, working their way through into the nest. This is Rat Haters Anonymous. TM, couldn't get the TM in there, sorry guys. But it is Rat Haters Anonymous, and there they are on their way here, handling the first. They are a tier 2 team. And guys, what do you make here? Let's go with you, Incan. What do you make here of the setup for this squad?
All right, well, we've got a pretty neat team comp. We've got a Huntsman comp happening right now, which is, you don't see those every day. And it's... They're just camping in this corner here. We've got the Scythe coming out on the Unchained, so that's also exciting to see.
Yeah,
pretty cool setup, actually. It's this is stuff that I'm not used to seeing every day.
That's also a pretty recent addition to the game comparatively. The Scythe, part of the Necro DLC, so very strong on Unchained since she's a pretty heavy melee career, and it's basically like a great sword for Sienna, just cleaves through everything. Our big shout out. This is a great team name, by the way. Rat Haters Anonymous. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you got to give him credit for creativity, at least in that regard. But yeah, it is quite interesting to see Sienna with the sights. So I haven't had a ton of experience playing with Sienna since her last class was introduced, and since the new weapon was introduced, or the new weapons. I know she got a staff as well, but it looks like they were using something else. What's kind of the benefit of the scythe, or why would you pick the scythe here in this kind of difficulty for this kind of challenge?
It scales up pretty well on the whole. Like it's a decent option. Sienna's melee options, especially on Unchained, are a little bit limited. So the scythe is a good alternative option compared to, like, say, the mace or the flail. The alt fire on it is also pretty useful as far as I know. I think it hits some stagger break points with Unchained. I forget, but also you can see just the big swipes coming across the screen. It's just useful to have. It's kind of like a greatsword analog in a way. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, it's great into kind of big groups of enemies, cleaves through a lot, and like Incan mentioned, the alt fire, it's like a stagger explosion. So even if it doesn't stagger the big scary enemies, it kind of keeps the little guys at bay, which is very handy in Onslaught when there's so many enemies.
Makes perfect sense to me. It's really fun to see it like in action. I love that even at this point in time, right? Obviously, new content is being added to the game, and I think tomorrow, we're in our map pool for tomorrow, we are going to see one of the newer maps, or the newest map, I believe, is getting put in, which is the Corrupted Temple, or what you might call it. But of course, in the map pool, as you guys already mentioned, Trail of Treachery is in this. That's one of the newer maps, and then of course the other dwarf map in here as well, Kazukhan Kazakit-Ha, I believe. I don't speak dwarfish, so, or I don't speak dwarven, so I can't quite get it. But it looks like a good hold here. I mean, of these maps, right? Like we talked a little bit about meta changes and how things were shifting in the mod. Is it still pretty much business as usual for a map like Into the Nest that's just been around for forever, or have kind of teams had to make some maybe strategic adaptations over the course of the last couple of months?
If you want to handle that one. Oh, okay. Actually, I will say, just before I get into it, I'll confirm that the actual donation figure currently, last as far as we know, is $4,600.
Amazing.
Probably increase.
Yeah, that's before we even got started. So yeah, I sure we have
That's
a way that we
amazing.
can get like the donation link in the Twitch chat. We'll work on that as well. Obviously, the information for donations is in the Discord as well. Yeah, that's crazy. That's great and really impressive effort here from the Fight the
It's
Tide community. Look at it, generous
the tea
donations
has
to rats
already
from rat haters. Can you believe it?
the irony, but
I
no,
know.
it's so fantastic to see, especially for a game that's 7 years old now. But yeah, the community is small but still very
Oh,
strong. And
7
he's
years.
actually pinned the link to donate at the top in the Twitch chat. So if you do
Thank you,
see
John.
that, you can.
Oh my gosh, 7 years. I feel old
yeah,
now.
to get into the like into the nest is really just business as usual. Like what they're doing right now is all very much the standard process you go through. It's just going to be going through all the different hold spots. I mean, we can see here too the team that people want to see. They're just chilling down below at that ammo box, just letting the rats drop in. Yeah, it's very much business as usual on this map. We'll get into more sort of new uncharted territory, I suppose, when we get to the DLC maps and the other maps that we haven't seen in the tournament as of yet.
Right,
I'm a
yeah,
big fan of sorry to cut you off. I'm a big
No,
fan of
go ahead.
the custom portrait frames at the bottom left there for the
Yeah.
for the team.
I do quite like the ape skull. I'm not exactly sure what the message is there, but I do quite like it. Yeah, it's always fun to see when we're going through, because I should say we're pulling, if there are issues with frame rates and stuff like that, there are going to be issues with frame rates. It's because we're pulling from people's Twitch streams, so we really have no control over it, and it's being filtered like 3 times before it gets to you. So it's enhanced, but in the bad way. But it is always really fun to see all the different like UI mods and stuff that people use, and how it influences their gameplay. But yeah, this is a classic hold spot. I am not well versed in the worlds of modded difficulty, and even I know this is this pit of death here on Into the Nest that people tend to kind of just lock in on and wait. Unfortunately, because of their custom UI, I can't quite tell who they have here on the team that people want to see. I
believe.
Grail Knight,
Yeah,
Ironbreaker, Waystalker, I think was the other. Yeah, Waystalker, and then I
Yeah.
don't know who their fourth is.
it's an IB, I believe, which is like a super bread and butter comp. It's one that's super comfortable for a lot of people, and it's for good reason. It's really strong, covers all your bases quite nicely, and yeah, it's 4 careers that a lot of people like to play. So
Yeah, it's one of the classic meta comps.
yeah, I did want to say, so like you were talking about Into the Nest, it's completely business as usual, but what what I would like to see is on maps that basically every hold spot is figured out, everyone kind of does the same things, but be interesting to see if there's like changes in comps. So it was nice to see Unchained with the scythe, for example, and that is one thing that's still evolving quite more frequently than something like the maps, just because tourney balance testing is evolving as it's at a decent rate. So the meta does shift around, not for the maps, but for what people play and what weapons they use and stuff like that. So it's quite it's not a completely dead game yet. No.
No, definitely not. I mean, we've raised almost $5,000 for charity. Not a dead game by any stretch of the word. And speaks to the lasting quality here. We'll gas Fat Shark up a little bit. Speaks to the lasting quality of the game, that there's still so much in it, and obviously speaks very highly of the modded community that you guys have put in so much work to make this still so playable here. But yeah, the team people want to see is they're doing pretty good here. Actually, I'm gonna switch this over to another team that's in a similar spot here, and I do apologize. The frame rate is gonna be a little bit rough on these guys, but I still want to get them in. This is Really Big Frogs, which is one of my favorite team names. So there are 2 really big frog models sitting on my shelf, so I have to kind of like Really Big Frogs. But as we take a little bit of a look at them getting through the work here, I was gonna say what we haven't really gone over, and that's maybe a flaw on my end. But just in terms of what are the actual rules of the tournament? How does this competition work? Because it is a tournament, as much as it is for charity. So, can either of you fine gentlemen explain to the audience?
Yeah, of course. So what we've got is we have a 3-hour block essentially of 4 maps, and teams have to make their way through those maps within the allotted 3 hours, and basically you're awarded points for completing maps and for completing them in as few attempts as possible, and the team with the most points at the end wins essentially. That's like the short version of it. That we do have a full rules document explaining all the intricacies and like little minute details on the Discord. But the short version is that it's a 3-hour block, 4 maps, beat as many as you can in as few attempts as possible, and see how you go.
No, I don't expect this to happen on Into the Nest because, like, as we've been saying, right, business as usual kind of map. But I am curious for, say, like, maybe one of the later maps, Trail of Treachery or something like that. If it's too hard, do you have the option to just, like, skip it? And does that impact kind of, like, scoring at all?
You go for it, Noel.
Sure. So if you do skip a map, you basically get 0 points for that map. So, you don't lose any time attempting it and then failing to complete it, but you do not get any points for that map. And obviously, if you're trying to win, you kind of want to play every map, see if you can get a completion, and then get the maximum amount of points.
Okay, all right. So you can, I guess, go past if you have to, though it is obviously not the preferred choice, which makes perfect sense.
It has been a strategy in the past for
I think I remember that.
For like super difficult maps, because generally the 4 maps, there's one easy, one kind of medium, a third that's a little bit harder, and then a 4th map that is like one of the hardest maps that is available. So some teams in the past have opted to kind of ignore the 4th map and then just really focus on getting the first 3 maps really like perfected. If they feel like they don't have the time, because the other thing to mention is the map pool is only released, I believe it's a month before today, so they only have a limited amount of time to practice all these maps. But I hope everyone's had enough time to practice, and we see all 4 maps from a lot of these teams.
Yeah, like because there's no advantage to going like faster than the 3 hours, right? So like you don't get any sort of reward for being like faster than other teams.
Okay.
You can use the whole 3 hours. It's just a 3-hour block and like an endurance run essentially, and you kind of want to use as much of that time as you have. But some teams, if they feel pressed for time, or if there's a certain map that they just aren't strong on and they're not confident with it, they do have the option to just skip ahead. But we'll see. I think as time has gone on, teams have become a lot more confident and a lot more familiar. So I'm looking forward to seeing, and also just the fact that like a lot of teams are also pretty happy to just throw themselves into the abyss of a map that they know they are unlikely to beat. So that there's some valor going on as well.
Most certainly, and you gotta appreciate the valor as well, and just getting mixed in on things that might not be the best for you or what have you. Yeah, and again, I know it. I know it's gonna be pixelated, guys, but I gotta give everybody their chance, right? Everybody's got to get a little bit of the stream time. If you're streaming right now, I don't want to deny you your opportunity to be seen. So, just bear with us, and we'll go through as we do here. Trying to see who else is currently playing right now. I think some of our teams have already kind of gone or have switched out, but the team that people wanted to see, or the team that people want to see, will go back to them because they are currently just annihilating a Stormfiend, which correct me if I'm wrong here, fine Vermintide connoisseurs, but I believe this is the easiest boss to handle by a country mile when it comes to modded difficulties.
Yeah, it's absolutely the like most pushover boss. But
Probably why he's
they
dead
can,
so quick.
yeah, like they die pretty quickly and they're not very threatening, but they can be annoying in that they can path in a way that they just like leave the area or like go to a spot where you can't reach them and it just drags the fight out. That's like the worst case scenario because you've got this boss that, you know, isn't a threat, but it's hanging out somewhere where you can't kill it, so you're just stuck waiting around, getting like horde after horde. Like that's really the big threat of them. So it's good that they were able to just dunk it when it showed up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'd agree that they are definitely the easiest monsters to deal with. They definitely can pose a big threat, especially when, as Incan mentioned, you know, if they're pathing around and you get hordes on top of them, the fire and the kind of constant AoE and just general chaos can really like suffocate the team. But yeah, this team dealt with it very nicely. And yeah, going back to chatting about this specific comp that they're running with the GK Witch Hunter Waystalker IB always, or pretty much always, has a Troll Hammer equipped, and the GK almost always has the Strength Pot quest talent. And with that, you know, you can just save up your strength pots for when you bump into a monster trigger, and then just annihilate it as quickly as possible. And that's what they did. And yeah, now it's smooth sailing into the Gaven City, which is notoriously, I'd say, the hardest area on this map.
Yeah, I seem to recall that it is a bit of a really unpleasant area just from previous tournaments. Speaking of previous tournaments, I feel like I ask this question every single time, but I'm going to ask it again just for my own clarification's sake. Is the Minotaur included in the boss pool or not, despite there being no beastmen?
I think it depends on the Onslaught mod.
Okay.
Yeah, on base Onslaught, I believe it's not available. It's in Onslaught Plus, you can get Minotaurs. I mean, chat might correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm fairly certain you can't get Minotaurs on base Onslaught.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Because in official realm, at least, you can only get Skaven bosses. But I think some of the other Onslaught mobs do. Yeah, like plus and above. I think they open up the potential boss pool to include other bosses.
Okay, all right, that makes plenty of sense. Like I said, I always forget. So, we've got
so do we.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's just like there's so much above. Yeah, double bosses. I know I've seen double bosses and somebody's mentioning double bosses in the chat. And yeah, I've seen the double bosses, but I can never remember Minotaurs. I just have a personal hatred of them, so so I always gotta ask. Trying to get we're a little slow on T1 feeds here. We've got a lot of T2 players today. Tier 1 not quite as stacked. I'm gonna just give Sigmar's weakest followers, who can, every vote counts, every bit of faith counts, even the weakest. But they're a little bit rougher in terms of the stream, but we'll give them a chance here because they are on the final part of Against the Grain, which was our first Tier 1 map. In fact, another Tier 1 team, Pandemonium Elites, they have actually completed Against the Grain. So good for them.
Nice.
They'll be moving on to the next map. They handled that really fast. We
get
didn't
ready.
quite get an opportunity to see them at the
We should
very
probably
end.
move back,
But yeah,
actually.
they've done a fantastic job, and these guys look like they're handling this quite well. Anna Sienna making another appearance here today. Is that just that's just plain old? Is that Battle Wizard or Pyromancer? I can never remember who has which flamey collar. I think
That
it's
is Battle
Wizard.
I believe
Yeah.
it's Battle
Yeah.
Wizard, yeah.
Back up.
Yeah. So these guys, so this is Legend ones, and I guess we didn't really talk
Black
about
Rats
the
are gonna
differences
start,
between
dropping down on us.
the tiers,
Go a little more back.
which I get we can go over now.
Sure.
Yeah, so these guys are playing on Legend ones, which is, you know, this is we've kind of gone over this 1,000 times on the Onslaught series, but there's always the chance that there's new people watching.
No,
so
you
I'm gonna go
gotta
over
start
it
from
again.
basics. You gotta start from basics
Exactly.
every time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the process. We're always getting new people.
Exactly, and that's how you get
As
more
well.
people to be interested. Right, so DWONS is a shortened abbreviation for Death Wish Onslaught. Death Wish is a modifier that kind of increases the dagger resist of all the enemies. So, you know, shouts from Kruber Mercenary or Witch Hunter will be a lot less effective. They'll only flinch or stagger enemies instead of sending them on the floor. And then Onslaught.
Try to go up the
Onslaught
stairs.
is, as the name suggests,
So there's
basically
two in
just
there as well.
an onslaught of enemies. It increases the amount of hordes,
Probably don't
the
need it.
frequency of hordes, the amount of specials, and the amount of ambience that you'll see already waiting on the map, as well as guaranteeing triggers. So every possible trigger, there will be one.
Why did you do that?
And these guys, they're playing on Legend, which you know, if you play on official, you'll be familiar with. And then T2 is Cataclysm 3, which increases the HP of enemies by quite a bit, and also the mass of enemies. So you'll be able to cleave less with stuff like the Greatsword, and they'll just take a lot longer to kill. I think that's everything for these two tiers, unless Incan, you can think of anything else.
No, like I think that covers it pretty well. Like Cata 3 just increases the mass of enemies and stuff like that and health. Like yeah, it just the gist of it is just yeah, everything gets scaled up. It's just more of everything, more chaos, more rats, and you know,
Okay, wait
more
here.
of more Vermintide
Don't
action.
move forward yet.
Yeah, if you ever think the game is too easy, you know, just hop onto the modern realm and
There's gonna be a lot of black
you know,
rats.
it'll amp it up.
Yeah, it's like 30 to 40 minutes of troubleshooting beforehand may be required. Just quick disclaimer.
There we
Depending on the state of like mods and stuff.
Makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, yeah. And yeah, it's interesting to see how the difficulties have changed, how the difficulties have kind of like expanded, like even from the first time that I originally got involved in
Okay, we can go.
the Fight the Tide community, like doing these tournaments and stuff. Things have changed pretty significantly in terms of how people, you know, what the difficulties are and how people handle them. And it's also been fun watching people kind of make their way up
Okay,
the
I got
ladder
the blocks.
um
I fell
in
down.
terms of, you know, like getting better and doing more and learning the game. And yeah, it's been really cool to see that in general. I just want to see if these guys get through to the Bridge of Shadows. I mean, I think that Sigmar's weakest followers are maybe proving their name a little bit wrong here. They seem to be doing pretty well, though they are a little strung out here, actually, now that I see it. That Grail Knight, he's going for broke. He doesn't care if the rest of them die in the attempt. And it does look like the Sienna is unfortunately not going to survive, but the completion is there for the Grail Knight, so we'll give them their credit. Good job for them. Let's go take a look then at one of our other teams here. Maybe we'll jump back up into tier 2. Check out Rat Haters Anonymous, who look like they're knee deep in storm vermin here as they push into the Skaven City. That looks like a lot of work here for Rat Haters Anonymous.
It's a
This
little-
spot.
Yeah, the infamous Skaven City. It's a little bit dicey for them. They're one person down, and Sienna's on death's door with no
Yep.
heals available. And the respawn, one of the, you know, factors that makes this area so difficult is the respawns are very unforgiving. So they'll have to go through multiple hordes without their fourth before he can get back up.
Yep.
So it'll be tough for them here.
The gas too coming in. It's a very tight area, and they are like backs against a wall right now. They're choosing the only way is forward right now. The gas is forcing them to move. The the reason it's so difficult is because when you drop into this area, it's a point of no return. You can't get back up once you're in. So once you're in, you're committed. And then when you get down here where they are now, there is a trigger that can occur here. So you'll get either a monster or a patrol, and it's just a nasty area. And then clearly something has gone awry and they've lost a player, and it's a very unforgiving respawn to get to, as Noel was saying. So yeah, this is definitely the hardest stretch of map by far.
That being said, they seem to have gotten up their huntsman, but they do have the patrol kind of in that really tight loop. It's really tough to avoid this one. I think a lot of teams will opt to just pull it and kill it in between hordes. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, and if they don't aggro it on purpose, if they can sneak past unnoticed. But yeah, they've got a little bit of respite in this kind of corner. It's pretty stable to hold here. You know, there's nothing drops behind you. The backliner can just see all the angles that the specials come from. Yeah, and there's that patrol. It looks like they don't want to fight it. They've still got hordes to deal with.
Callback, it seems the chat is saying that we're a little bit choppy on the stream at the moment, and it's our end.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that it is our end. As much as I would like to be able to kind of fix that, it's not, unfortunately, coming from us. It's just a matter of maybe processing Twitch streams through multiple levels of, I guess, game or of programs. So I do apologize if it's coming out a little choppy. We'll try our best to see if there's anything I can do on my end to sort of resolve that.
Alright, no worries. Yeah, it's a lot of teams to follow. We got like what? We got 12 teams for today.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the amount of Twitch streams you've got open is kind of causing problems for your PC.
Entirely possible,
on
but
it's a strain.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do want to kind of highlight every team that's signed up.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we're I'll take a look. I'll see if there's anything I can do on my end. So
that's all the triggers done.
Do you have Rodo's stream available? Rodo Nunez?
Let's see if we have Rodo up. The name is familiar to me, but I'm not sure if we necessarily...
Team Blind Faith.
Blind Faith. Let's take a look here. Give me a second and we can pull it back up here for sure, and we'll see if we can get it in. Let's take a look at some of our other teams really quick as we go through. Rodo definitely we can get that stream up for sure. So just gonna go over to Shrimp is Bugs really quick. They're on Into the Grain. Or Against the Grain, not Into the Grain. We'll give them a chance here as well to show off a little bit.
Shrimps is Bugs. That is so true.
Is it? I actually have no idea how shrimps work, to be honest.
Bugs of the sea.
Yeah, the bugs of the sea. We call them prawns though in more civilized countries.
Oh, this team, it seems like they are having a little bit of trouble. The infamous first field of Against the Grain. This is the bane of many, many uh modded teams and teams. Yeah, I mean this field is brutal. Just being a completely open area, specials will, spawn in and basically have line of sight on you immediately and just start bullying you from 10,000 miles away. Assassins will jump across the entire field. It's a nightmare. And
Yep.
yeah, I like the comp that they've got going here. They've got the Warrior Priest, the Shade, Battle Wizard, and is that Merc, I think, that's currently dead. But yeah, we just see there the power of Stigmar reviving. Uh, oh, they really do seem to be having some trouble here though.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. When you find a good like pausing point, you might need to change some parameters in the stream because the quality is kind of degrading.
Yeah, sure. We can take a quick break here as everybody just kind of works their way through. We'll be right back, folks. All right, welcome back, folks. I do apologize. We're trying our best here with what we have in terms of stream quality. If we have to change things up and shut things down, we totally will. This is Blind Faith for now. So they're on the second mission, or is this the Corrupted Temple? Is that what this one's called?
The Forsaken Temple.
Forsaken Temple.
Yes.
I knew it was a thesaurus word there.
Yeah, so this is one of the freshest, newest maps, and like for me, I think this is a really, really cool map. It's I see it as kind of a Vermintide version of Isengard, where they're starting in the forest and then coming into this dried riverbeds where they have to traverse through these kind of like mini canyons. It's really cool, and then into like a Skaven constructed city sort of thing. It's really, really cool. And yeah, this is Team Blind Faith. They're kind of veterans of the Onslaught series. They kind of always play South American team, really great guys. And yeah, they seem to be doing pretty well here into the kind of second, third trigger area of the map.
Yeah, definitely making a good effort. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to stop the stream. We're going to try and restart the stream at a slightly higher fidelity. So those of you who are here watching, don't go anywhere. I promise you we'll be back. We'll try and see if we can get a little better quality here on the stream. So give us just a few minutes, and we'll get this sorted. So hopefully it's clear across the next couple of hours. And again, just a reminder, everything here going for APOPO. Don't forget to check out the donation link and give them a look-see. If you haven't already donated, I know that we have a ton of donations coming in, but I just want to remind everybody that's what we're here for. And we'll be right back in just a few minutes. All right, well, we are back here, and we'll see if hopefully we made some changes here to the stream. And if not, we'll figure something else out. That's just the way it goes here. But we'll go ahead and pull back up one of our teams here. It looks like this is Rat Haters Anonymous, who we were looking at earlier, and they're on the Scarrick Spine Mangler fight and trying to work their way through it right now. So we'll see if they can handle it any better than well, actually I was gonna say than anybody else has, but we haven't actually seen anybody quite handle this bit yet. So yeah, here we go. Jumping straight into it. Are there any changes to the Scarrick fight, by the way, in the modded difficulties? I'm actually not entirely sure.
So
you guys would know.
They really kind of buffed up Scarrick's HP. You know, in the official realm, he's like a massive pushover. You drop in, chuck a couple bombs, and he's just falls over dead instantly. And that is still the case a little bit in the modded realm. Like, he's still one of the easier bosses, but they really amp up the intensity of the enemies that spawn in alongside him, and they still buff his health. So yeah, he's definitely not as much of a pushover in the modded realm. And it seems like they brought the Huntsman here for the Garrick damage. Huntsman with a longbow is really, really good super armor damage. As long as you hit your shots, which it seems like Taserman definitely did. And seems like they dealt with it no problems. And they'll be going on to the second map with a victory in hand. It's good stuff for Rat Haters Anonymous.
That was very straightforward, actually. They did not have any problems with that at all. So all props to them on being able to handle that as easily as they did. I don't think that they're gonna lose here at the very tail end. I mean, I guess seen that happen before, but we'll hope that that's not the case. We're gonna go ahead and we'll take a look at Blind Faith here as well, who are still in the Forsaken Temple, not Corrupted Temple or whatever I was saying earlier. Forsaken Temple, and they are powering their way forward here as we go.
Map.
Yeah, beautiful map.
Yeah, so as Noel was saying earlier, like this group, like Roto's, like Roto himself especially, there's been like a fixture of our community for quite a while now. He brings in a lot of new people. He brings in like from the South American community, and he's participated in like Captain Series. He's participated in a lot of tournaments. He's a veteran at this point. And yeah, so great to see he's still going strong.
Yeah, I think actually this team is some newer players. I don't actually recognize the whole roster of the team. Oh, seems like they
just dunked that Rat Ogre, no problem.
Yeah. Roto is a big fan of Dagger GK, which is a little bit unconventional. It's not as common as just a one-handed sword, executioner sword GK. But it's definitely an option if the team is lacking some frontline presence.
Yeah, I mean he 100% makes it work. They run like heal warrior priest every now and then too. It's like the healing bubble. It's really cool. They pull off some real big like plays with that.
Yeah, they definitely do kind of stray from the meta, but in ways that are really creative. So it's lovely to see. I believe their bounty hunter has a flail, which is certainly not the usual bounty hunter pick, but
the Flounty Hunter.
The Flounty Hunter, exactly.
I don't know how he plays that. That would be so slow. Yeah, kudos to him. That's some Giga Chad stuff right there.
Yeah,
that is one thing where Bounty Hunter is a little bit changed from official. In Tony Balance testing is the level 10 row. He's got a little bit more access to attack speed, so maybe he's utilizing that for usage with a flail.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to say just real quick, like, again, apologies for the stream quality. We've tried a bunch of fixes. Hopefully it's like still watchable. It just is what it is. We're just experiencing issues with Twitch compression, like restreaming other streams. So
Yeah, if we could fix it, we would. I mean, this stream is being outputted to you at 60 FPS, so make of that what you will. It's literally 60 FPS, no drop frames, like full high fidelity bit rate, 6K bit rate at 60 FPS. So there's literally nothing to be done to apologize.
what I would recommend right now is like a sort of temp fix, I guess, if you're like a viewer that really wants to like watch these in like non-PowerPoint format, but still want to get the commentary. Just keep the Fight the Tide stream open, but then like go to the team roster document that we have in the Discord, pull that up, and you can find all the stream links there that we're pulling from. So you can just watch those streams directly, and then you can get our commentary like overlaid on top.
I'm gonna try and see if there's a way that I can get at least some of the teams in a little bit more high fidelity. But yeah, they're just, unfortunately, it's not really on our end, and as much as I wish there was an easy way for us to fix this, and unfortunately, there's just not right now. So we'll see what we can do here in the short term, and I promise you, if there's a means to fix this, we will find it. In fact, let's see. I have maybe a potential workaround here for you guys. It's just going to be a little bit awkward, at least initially. But let's see how it works here. I'm going to transition us over to Really Big Frogs, and I can't see the Twitch stream right now, but I know that you guys can. So you can tell me if this looks like it's of a significantly better quality than what we're getting beforehand. It does look like it's a significantly better quality. Okay, so there is a solution. We have the technology. It just requires it just requires some stuff on the back end. So we'll get on to that, and I'll try and do my best here to get you guys some nice streams going as we go through. But bear with us throughout. But let's do. We'll give a little bit of attention here to really big frogs for a second as we go through. And if you're wondering what I did, by the way, not to dump on any particular streaming companies that may or may not be the main purveyor of video game streams, as I essentially cut out Twitch as a middleman. But that's neither here nor there. So,
is this a YouTube stream?
No, this is me pulling directly. I don't want to get too much into the nitty gritty, and production is not my passion. But this is me pulling directly from their feed using a different capture method. So hopefully a little bit better for those of you who are watching at home right here. And I promise you, I'll get on it and see if I can change things up here for our other streams.
Oh, thank you, Corbeck. We can kind of chat about.
But yeah, let's talk about Really Big Frogs. We saw them a little bit on Into the Nest, and they obviously handled Into the Nest with ease because they're here now. But as someone who you compare this map to Helm's Deep, I am completely unfamiliar for this map. So like any insights you guys can bring regarding this really is just fire away.
I mean, I'm pretty unfamiliar too at the minute. I've only played it like a couple times, and that was not on modded. So
yeah, so I've played it a little bit on modded. It's a pretty short map. I'd say it's like in the kind of easy to medium difficulty area. They're coming up to what I'd say is like one of the harder sections of the map. They're coming into an area where there's a lot of like different options where you can go, but you're in a kind of valley area, so you can get completely surrounded very easily. Enemies will drop like from above, on top of you, behind you, in front of you, all over the place. So it can be a little bit tricky. This map is very, very generous with items, so as you progress, there's a lot of potential items that you can pick up that will really help deal with the difficulty spikes. But yeah, they seem to be doing all right here, and they seem to be going for the left-hand side of the map. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options of paths you can go, and it seems like they're just kind of
Ooh.
waiting here a little bit.
We just got that salt pyre just got really unlucky. That just fell right into the overhead. Actually, I do want to quickly pivot to just discussing the team comp real quick too. Like, this is not a team comp you see every day. You know, we got the mercenary, which is like, you know, you do see that a fair amount, but like spear and shield mercenary, definitely not an everyday occurrence. The handmaiden coming out too, very cool to see. And the witch hunter captain is again like you see it often enough, but it's cool to see. And the engineer, like that's the thing that I want to think about, because like that is very cool. Engineer has seen a lot of changes over the last I guess year, I'd say, in total. And it's very powerful, but you do kind of have to like turtle around it and build your comp around it. And so it's interesting to see that this is the option they've gone with, because typically what you'd expect, right, if you're going to turtle around an engineer, you're gonna do that with like big tanks, right? So you're gonna have like the foot knight and like the warrior priest, but they've opted for a sort of more dynamic front line with these picks. Which might also be in part due to the fact that in tourney balance we did recently revert Foot Knight back to mostly being official realm
Okay.
style instead of the like old like sort of rework we'd applied to him before that. And as a result, Foot Knight is not quite as popular now, funnily enough. So we're seeing like a bit of like a mercenary renaissance, I guess. So that's cool.
I do want to point out that the Merc seems to be, you know, purposefully taking damage, and if you're wondering why that is, it's so he can generate more ult cooldown and just keep spamming his own ult, giving temp to his team. I guess his NG might be running the talent where he sacrifices health for more ult charge himself. So just kind of like a battery for that NG, so he can keep pumping out that, you know, high DPS minigun as much as possible. Yeah, but yeah, really nice comp. And I also really like the handmaiden. She's using the great sword, really fun weapon, and also a little bit buffed on tourney balance as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely I'd say it's an interesting composition indeed, and I think we've gone back to not quite what it should be. There we go. Some more behind the curtain stuff for you guys. And obviously we have a stream tomorrow as well, and we'll do our best in the intervening time to try and figure out if there's any different way to make this so it's not quite as choppy, but yeah, we're working on it. Anyway. Gonna try and get another team here up on screen pretty soon if we can do it. Just gonna look at some different ways to make that happen as we're watching this, and we might cut over here for a moment to perhaps a team whose stream is not quite as clear as Really Big Frogs right now, which is the price you have to pay for progress. So we're going to take a look here at the team that people want to see, and yes, I guarantee you it will not look as pretty, but I promise you we will make it pretty in short order. So significantly less pretty, I'm afraid, but that's again progress.
So these guys are also on the Forsaken Temple, I believe. I actually don't recognize this area of the map. There's so many kind of possible paths that you can take that can be a little bit confusing at times. But it looks like kind of business as usual for these guys. It looks like they're running the same comp as they were on Into the Nest. Yeah, so it's all four the same units. Okay, so they're approaching the final area of the map. Yeah, I mean this team looks super confident, super comfortable with regular pacing of the map on this difficulty. I feel like they'd only really struggle with events and triggers. Yeah.
Yeah, they are just plowing through. And it looks like they're pretty. It looks like they've pre-planned their holds as well. Like they know where they're going. They've clearly practiced the map a fair amount.
Yeah. They definitely seem to have a handle on this one. Let's take a look really quick. This is Bobers here. They're about to fight, I believe, Skerrick on Into the Nest. Any pixelation you see, I will say right now, it is not on our end. This is just the nature of their stream. So yeah. let me clear that. Let me clear that air right now as we get them up here. But we'll give them a chance. That they haven't really been featured on the stream yet, so we'll give them a chance here to fight Skerrick Spine Mangler for your entertainment, as is their want. And we all enjoy seeing Skerrick Spine Mangler get beaten up. So yes, looking forward to it.
I really like the logo that they've got in the top there, the Bobers.
The Bobers, yeah. So we've got a javelin Sister of the Thorn here, and you can see her just spamming away right now. We've got the classic. Otherwise, it's actually a pretty classic comp on the whole. We got the javelin sister for special sniping and just for like spamming into elites. And then we've got the classic Iron Breaker with Trollhammer and the Grail Knight combo. It looks like they've fed a strength pot over to the Trollhammer as well. It looks like that might be how they're preparing to deal with Skerrick, just Trollhammer him down. And then we got the Witch Hunter Captain as well. It's a very classic comp, really.
I love this full wobble blood effects maximum.
Oh yeah, they're in. There's a team that I haven't shown on stream yet that I will hopefully get a chance to show on stream, but they have they have everything, including motion blur when they turn. If anybody knows Pandemonium Elites, it's insane to watch. I want to. They'll be on. I promise they'll be on because we can't not have that.
Cinematic experience.
Yeah, it is a true cinematic experience from them.
All right, let's see. Let's stick with these guys a little bit longer. See if they just completely nuke.
Yeah, no.
Skerrick as well.
I want to give them their moment in the sun here. Nothing better than a square. I feel like Skerrick holds a special place, at least in my heart, in terms of bosses that are just always never not fun to kill. So I don't know. I hate this guy.
Just bully him and take his lunch money.
Yeah, it used to be much worse. I think you guys, like we were talking about earlier, changes were made so it was not as bad as it was. But it used to, in regular modded, it's always fun to just like execute him at point blank range with the bounty hunter or whatever. So, or in regular, not modded, in regular gameplay, it's always entertaining. But unfortunately, Skerrick, he struck a mighty blow right there.
Yeah, he's taking his.
He heard what I said.
Yeah,
he's out to prove us wrong.
As much as we do want to see all the teams win, it is very entertaining seeing these like high intensity situations. If people are going down, wipes, as much as we don't want to see them, they are very fun as well. So yeah, like they're kind of chewing through their resources, kiting around. Let's see if they can kind of stabilize and just clear up here.
It looks like they are stabilizing. It's rough dealing with that initial like wave of ads. Like the sheer volume of things that flood into the arena is really the like pressure point. And there's a lot of overheads happening. There's a lot of monks going crazy. It's not hard to get caught off guard by any of those in the fray.
Yeah. The damage onto Scarrick is not too high though. He still has a decent chunk of his HP left, and they've only got 1 strength and 1 bomb. Witch Hunter goes
Yeah.
down. I'm a little bit concerned for these guys.
Oh, they
Good.
cannot get him.
I don't know. Witch Hunter's
Oh,
up
they did.
on his feet.
Okay. Yeah, they popped a fair few resources at the start, but then I think the string of downs that happened kind of rapidly had thrown them off a little bit in terms of DPSing. But they did get into the kite loop, so they've done that successfully, and they seem to be stabilizing. And they're just doing the kite loop now, where you basically just you ride the waves out until Scarrick goes to his corner to be like angry, and then you just start throwing projectiles at him then, and otherwise just like attacking. Oh, never mind. They're just gonna
The
change
modded
direction
classic
here.
of hugging the walls in any given area. Oh yeah, it's certainly not a free ride home for these guys. Let's see. It's getting a little bit dicey, and if the one thing with this event is if you can't keep up with the it's looking very bad now. 2 people have died completely. It's down to the sister and the IB. If the IB can get a taunt off, maybe the sister can get a revive here. Still has that 1 bomb available. They just got to keep kiting around.
He does have the healing draft as well still on the IB, and he's got some troll hammer shots. We'll see what they can do.
Oh, that's a risky heal he just went for.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, let's see. If the IB has a taunt here, he should be able to get the revives.
Yeah,
Seems
looks like that's happening.
Ooh.
Oh man, it is rough in there at the minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I mean, we might have
struggling.
caused the custom by saying it was an easy.
It was
fight,
easy.
but,
Yeah, I think I feel bad. I don't know. It wasn't my intention. I'll be honest, but yeah, this is brutal.
Yeah, this is the thing with this event. Scarrick will keep spawning in waves. So even if there's a load of enemies up, they'll just keep coming in.
They can't even move.
Yeah,
all down
to the IB.
Oh.
Yeah, the classic IB holding out, final stand.
They just died as well, so he's going to have to do another rotation before he can get a revive. And another wave is coming in. This might be the end for our little friends.
He does have a taunt available, and he has a healing draft, and he still has some troll hammer shots.
There it is.
No, never mind. Could not get the taunt off. Alas.
Oh well. It's it's unfortunate. You know, he can't say he didn't try though. So that is a
very valiant effort.
Very valiant effort. Yes, no doubt about that.
They managed to like restabilize a good few times, but they just could not outpace the sheer volume of things that were flooding in at them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We're gonna go take a look at Shrimp is Bugs, by the way. Sorry not to cut you off, Noel, but we're gonna get in on Shrimp is Bugs here for a second and give them a little bit of opportunity to be on stream. This is a YouTube playback, so yeah, quality issues. It's truly nothing I can do. So this is just the quality of the video, but I want to give them a little bit of an opportunity because I think they were one of the teams that we were following when we had to kind of switch off, and they're still on against the grain here. One of our other tier 1 teams, I should say, Sigmar's weakest followers, they actually just got through the second map in the pool, so they completed the dwarf map. They were actually doing the final event for that map while we were fighting Scarrick, so I couldn't pull away from one storyline to another right there, unfortunately. So I had to give it a miss. But anyway. Yeah, they're the ones who are running the warrior priest with the double-handed hammer, by the way, which is great. I love that weapon. So it's one of my favorite. Just very thematic. It feels so good.
Very thematic, very satisfying to get those.
So satisfying.
Overhead bonks. Yeah, it's really good.
The big juicy like 1, 2, 3 combo is just so much fun. You know, assuming you don't get shoved out of it.
I will say, when we
assuming
the last time we were on this team, they were also in this exact spot.
They were.
So I feel like they might have wiped and have. This is on their second attempt here. So hopefully their morale is still high while they give this another shot. Yeah, it looks like they're still having some difficulties here. A man down again, and he's got quite a far respawn, so they've got a little bit of work to do before they can truly stabilize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this area here is a bit of a gauntlet. Like once you get out of that first field, you then have to really rush through the farm because you don't want to get caught in there. And then, but as soon as you drop, then you can see it happening now. You know, it's just you are then faced with hordes from the front and from the drop you just came down, and it can get kind of nasty, especially with these specials. The special angles out here can be very harsh. We'll see how they go, but they have a bit of a distance to travel before they can actually get their fourth back up and running.
The revive bubble on the warrior priest, saving the shade from a very sticky situation there.
Oh, you
Unfortunately, there were 2 downs at the exact same moment, and the battle wizard was not able to be saved. That is unfortunate. Yeah, it's just down to 2 now. I hope they'll be able to save their friend there. Oh yeah, this is another thing that has not been seen in Onslaught series events yet. The bulwarks, new enemy type.
Oh yeah,
Chaos
that's
Warriors
actually a
with
good brain.
shields.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are really, really, really annoying.
Oh no!
You're kidding.
That's so brutal.
revive.
I can't believe it. That's
Okay.
actually sad. Oh my lord. Well, oh no, I can't even believe that. Let's go watch Pandemonium Elites. They're another tier 1 team here. We haven't got them on stream yet. They're battling their way down the slope on Skittergate, which is a hellish area.
Skittergate.
Yes,
Wow.
Skittergate.
This is a map for sure. It's it's a tough map on modded. The final event is one for the ages on Onslaught and Onslaught Plus.
I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I want to come back to it, obviously, and I want to see it executed. This is also the guy who I was talking about, who has like wobble, blood effects, and motion blur.
POV. Oh my God.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful to watch. It's just, it probably doesn't translate as well because we do have to go through the multiple twitches or whatever, but yeah, it's a cinematic experience, pure film for you here. But let's just watch as they tackle this slope and give them a chance here, and then we'll take a quick look at our other teams as well. And because we've just come past the first quarter or said the first third of this stream here at the top of the hour, a good chance to remind you guys, obviously everything here for charity today. That's APOPO. You can find the info in the Twitch chat or on the Discord. We've already raised tons of money for them, but anything else that we can raise as a community is very much appreciated. So don't forget to check that out. They are a charity that works with basically training giant African pouched rats, that's a thing, to detect landmines and also to detect tuberculosis. And they're currently doing research to see if they can get those rats to detect anything else. And it's like I said, I've seen videos of them at work, and it's quite fun. It's actually really cute. The little rats, they like put them on a little line, and when they find a landmine, they stand up on their back feet and they like do the like a begging gesture with their paws, and that's how they like notify their handlers that there's a landmine there. So it's adorable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
They do incredible work, and it's very important work too. Like you know, just like a lot of us in our everyday, we don't have to think about landmines, but that is not true in a lot of places in the world.
Yes.
And so it's very important that you know, this work gets done and they get cleared. It's very. I'm absolutely stoked that we've been able to actually raise as much money as we have to help with that cause. It's a very worthy cause, and yeah.
Yeah, it seems only right that, you know, for the amount of virtual rats we've massacred, that we kind of give back to
give back,
give back to actual rats that are, you know, doing valiant jobs. in the real world. So, yeah.
Yeah, rats are friends. They are friends. Skaven less so.
Let's give it kind of a different type of rat, if we're being honest. So, a far more evil rat, all things considered. And yes, whoever said in the Twitch chat that this map does look beautiful on these settings, it looks good. It does. It does really look good on these settings. It's easy to forget sometimes when you guys are in modded and you're chopping down every like graphics quality to maximize whatever you can. That the game is actually
for sure.
The game is actually quite beautiful. It's actually quite pretty.
The other, it's either I love seeing the difference in like the stream qualities, like depending on like not strictly like the frame rates and stuff, but just like what settings people are running, because you have some people like what we're seeing right now where people are running like the absolute cinematic immersive experience, and then there are some people out there that are running like RuneScape graphics.
Yeah.
RuneScape graphics, maximum FOV, fisheye lens.
Yeah,
the whole works.
Yes.
But yeah, to each their own. This is the second team we've seen today with an NG on the.
It is.
So yeah, it's nice to see NG getting some love. It's definitely one of the more niche dwarves, I'd say. IB is very, very popular. People love Slayer, and RV is, all of the dwarves are good, but NG I'd say is probably the one you see the least.
Yeah, NG has certain requirements that he comes with in terms of like you do kind of have to build your comp around him, and he's very micro intensive with maintaining the minigun and all that. And he doesn't quite stand on his own as much in like solo situations or like in melee or stuff like that. He comes with a bunch of caveats and a bunch of like requirements if you really want to run him effectively. And this comp here, like the last comp we saw was sort of a more like unique kind of off-meta comp that like NG or like NG comp. But in this case, what we're seeing is a much more sort of like traditional turtle around the engineer kind of comp with the Grail Knight and the Warrior Priest and the Sister of the Thorn to give some breathing room.
Sure.
So that's cool to see. It's very cool to see the engineer coming out, and I think part of that might be because of all the recent changes to him. He did see some reworking, and so he's a lot more interesting to play now than he used to be.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, that does track. I'm just taking a look at our other teams right now and seeing where people are. Still a fair amount of tier 2 teams who are kind of battling their way through the first portion of this first map, I should say. Sorry, but let's go ahead and we'll bring the team people want to see. We'll bring them back up here for a second because they're doing the Righteous Stand. Is this a mid event? Is that what we consider this to be?
The mid event, yeah. This is the middle event, and it's like this is like the filter for this map. Really, it like this whole kite loop and stuff, because it gets very out of hand very quickly.
Oh, okay. All right, I see.
Yeah, just as Incan says,
already.
It's already getting out of hand. The storm.
No, that went really quick. Oh my gosh.
The cast of curse strikes again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a bit quicker than I was thinking.
They started in a corner and weren't able to clear a storm, and they got kind of split 50-50 on either side of that storm, and now it's just complete chaos. So there recently has been a change to this map with the Versus update. Okay, it's all over.
It's all over. Oh man.
I do want to say, since there'll be other teams on Righteous Stand, Fat Shark changed it so that the respawn, even if you've started the event, even if you finish the event, as long as you haven't gone up the elevator, the respawn will always be downstairs now. So it does make it a little bit easier, and it makes it a little bit more forgiving. You know, if there are people that die, you can always just kind of turtle up, kite it out, and
No, I know.
hope
I'm
that
just
you-
saying.
No,
Like,
just hit
it's not
all
gonna
of
be.
your
It's not gonna be as
lives.
fast.
Listen, I'm gonna strength. Well, yeah, dude,
Unfortunately,
we
that
like
wasn't
barely
the
tested it with me
case,
strength
Yeah,
body.
we're dumping everything right on the drops. Everything all at once.
We do, and I have to turn their volume down. I apologize. You're all going to get blasted there for that by a second, but they're approaching Scarrick right here. So let's see what they can muster, and then trying something new with stream quality. So people, if you're watching, tell me if this is like impossibly hideous or if it's okay, and we'll go from there. But yes, I do want to give them a chance here. We haven't seen FFPG yet. They're the family friendly word I can't say gang. You can go look at the stream list if you really want to know what the P stands for, but I feel like I'm not allowed to say that on air. I don't know. We'll see if we get a someone higher up the chain can tell me whether that's allowed or not. But yeah, they are about to do scary here. Yeah, are you higher up the chain, Incan? Can you tell?
We'll just roll with FFPG, even though
All right, we'll roll with
even though it's
FFPG.
not the worst word in the world, but we'll keep it like G rated.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. We we can have ludicrous amounts of violence, but whoa, we'll hold the line at profanity. We don't want that.
Oh my goodness, they have absolutely melted Scarrick here.
Oh my
This
god,
comp
what
is-
happened? He
Yeah.
looked away.
He got bounty hunted.
He got
And
bounty
shaded.
hunted, shaded, and GK'd,
Yeah.
and he's dead already. So, yeah, wow, that just really goes to show that, you know, if you build for it, this team has so much boss damage. It's crazy. They have the Troll Hammer, the GK double stab ult, Shade with, I assume, Cloak of Pain, and the Bounty Hunter with a concoction double-shotted pot. Just
Wow.
absolutely crushed Scarrick.
That's
I
wild.
mean, they just
That's quite
like-
funny because I was trying to go and see if they could get a better quality like version of what was happening, and they just killed him so fast. I can't even change it.
that whole team comp
Ah.
just screw Scarrick. Like they p-worded him. They p-worded all over
They
him.
did. They did P-word all over him. Let's go take a look at Blind Faith here. Again, trying something new with the stream quality. So you folks at home, you can tell me what this looks like there on your end and whether it's really bad or not, and then we can try something else around it if it is not holding up. But yeah, they absolutely dominated him. So well done, family friendly P gang. You guys did great.
Yeah, congrats to them. It's always nice, you know, getting a super clean final event before going into your next map. You know, morale's high, so they can carry that morale into the next map. And it looks like Blind Faith is on to Righteous Stand. I would assume that they cleared Forsaken Temple. I'm not actually. Oh wait, they have a 1 there.
They have a
Tony
what?
defeat counter 1.
Oh,
Yeah, at the
no.
top middle, he has a defeat counter.
That means they gave it up, I guess. I'm assuming. Sure.
I don't know if that's referring to like maps they just didn't complete, or if it's referring
Yeah.
to just like wipes.
Oh, that could also be wipes. That's a very
Yeah.
valid.
Okay. Either way, they're at the start of Righteous here. Kind of, yeah, it's you know, this is another one of those maps like Into the Nest where it's been played a million times on modded. Most teams are very comfortable with it. They know exactly all the triggers, all the strats for the events. So it should, you know, should be a cozier map than some of the newer ones.
Right. Makes sense. I do want to get a nice opportunity here to pull up another fight with Spine Mangler as well, just to see how another team handles it. So it's Tiny URL, who I don't think we've actually seen so far on the stream. They're right on the border of fighting Scarrick. So we'll stick with members of Blind Faith here for a minute as they battle on Righteous Stand, and then we're gonna swap over to Tiny URL once they start that Scarrick fight. And actually, that's pretty much right now. So let's go ahead and pull them up here and see how they're handling. See how they handle Scarrick. See if they'll take him down all the way in about 2 seconds, or whether or not he's gonna be a real pain for them.
So
actually.
this team has... Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Also,
There-
just,
there it is.
Oh my god, they did it even faster. So
they're not clear. No, Scarrick is still alive, and they're a man down here. They kind of went a little bit too far all in.
They got
on
a bit-
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't pull it off. They didn't finish him.
oh my
Yeah, they
gosh,
didn't
yeah,
finish
no,
him.
he's still up.
They
The
they got
huntsman
him.
was a little bit too eager on killing the boss. That he kind of...
Oh no.
Oh, that's really tragic. He's so low. He was kind of like a tenth of his HP left, and the huntsman died, I think. Let's see if maybe he can squeeze through and get a revive. I think his taunt is up currently, but it's gonna run out, and he's gonna get completely block broken. Oh, he's so nearly out. No.
no.
Oh,
you
that's
can't
so
handle
tragic.
that. That's too
Wow.
much.
Garrick
Oh,
lives to tell another tale.
that's big sad right there, because we were really, I was pulling for him, TBH, but that's the way it
they-
goes sometimes, unfortunately. Let's I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
here to the team people want to see, because they're at the Righteous Stand mid-event as well, so we'll pull them up and see how they're doing it. They're also, I think, in a bit of a rough spot here, because their kite has been
Oh, no.
absolutely disrupted as
Oh
they're rolling
goodness,
around.
we're just pulling up all the worst moments.
We are, unfortunately.
I did mention earlier that people, want to see wipes, but now I feel really bad because I don't want people to wipe too much.
It's not. Yes, I agree. We didn't do anything wrong. I just want to clarify. This is
We've
not our
cussed them
fault.
full deck.
But all right,
cost of
Blind Faith is
curses,
on the Blind Faith is on the mid event. I think for Righteous Stand, they're gonna do a lot better. They're gonna be fine.
Let's see it. They are rotating the opposite direction to what is usually done.
Yeah, they're taking this from the alternative, lesser used path, and it seems to be working for them. This is how the event's usually meant to go. Although the things are, never mind. That's not how it's usually supposed to go.
No, Incan, what have you done?
It keeps happening. I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, so there's 2 people still alive. This is super recoverable if they just kind of play it super safe. They don't worry too much about killing stuff. They just keep kiting. If they do live, we'll see in a sec that the respawns will be right where they are currently, so they'll probably have to do one more loop. If they can get one more loop in, they should be able to get a revive and hopefully stabilize. Bounty Hunter is bobbing and weaving. He's gotten a little bit trapped. The main thing with this event is you want to kite as a cohesive unit as much as possible. He's going for a revive here. Yeah, he gets interrupted by the ogre. He's going to have to kind of keep kiting, but he's going to crash into the sister. It's going to be chaos. He's able to turn around. Let's see. Yeah, he's really just kind of in a horrible spot there. The sister's on the other side of the arena now. Maybe they can squeeze by and get a revive with the sister ult, maybe. But there's so much stuff up now. It's gonna be tricky. The hook.
Let's see if they finish this off, because I have a very exciting treat, something that I've never, I don't think, maybe seen on stream once, but we'll see if she can survive. I don't want to cut away from this epic last stand here, though this does look like it's putting the last stand right now, but we'll see.
The walls are coming out. The walls are doing some real work for them, generating that space. There's so many hooks though, and just
the
things out there
Nat
that
Bond
tonight-
enthusiast in chat, by the way. I love it. Oh, The only person left alive has Nat Bond, therefore that might be the best necklace perk. Well, boy.
To get the revive. Oh, it's a sticky spot though.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
kill me now?
no, I think it's over. Yeah, Roto's stuck in between 1,000 enemies.
All right.
Very good.
It was a valiant effort there from Roto, but I did say there was a treat. Pandemonium Elites and all their cinematic glory are on the final event here of Skittergate and are, I think, doing a pretty good job of it. So
They just finished clapping Death Rattler, so
All right, they're on to the
Death Rattler. That's my best.
They're on
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
it was a good one. It was a good one.
Filthy man things. Anyway.
filthy
Oh
mad
no! Are we gonna show another disastrous defeat? I feel like we're really problematic, honestly, at this point.
I mean, they did kill Death Rattler, so there's a moral victory there.
You're right. You're right. It's gonna cost a lot of warp tokens to get another replacement for Death Rattler, so
things.
the economic fallout is gonna be significant.
Yeah, this last segment of the fight where it's just like Rasknit being just an absolute menace with the little warp pokes. Like they don't do a lot of damage, but they disrupt you with anything you're doing. It's makes getting revives very annoying. And then otherwise this whole thing is just like a grind. Like you're just chasing him from corner to corner until you finally bully him into defeat. But you know the arena's getting flooded the whole time, and if anyone gets downed, which is possible, yeah, getting those revives is just nightmarish.
Yes, it's
They're
a
able to.
Oh, go ahead, Noel. Sorry.
Uh,
No, your observations are better than whatever bad joke I was gonna make. So please share. Oh no, the revive's with him sitting right there. That's not good.
oh, he's able to get it though. I think
He is.
Yeah, sister's back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Incan said, these pokes from wait, is it Rasknet? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Rasknet.
yeah.
Yeah, they interrupt revives, they stagger you, they do like chip damage. So yeah, like that, like you know, the GK is just kind of getting harassed by Rasknet while he deals with other things. Yeah, so it's super hard to stabilize. I feel like they brought the Warrior Priest for that invulnerability so that they can kind of deal with that harassment a little bit better. But unfortunately, it's not enough.
Not to be. It was a valiant effort though, and I'm glad we got to show that fight on stream. We rarely, I feel like I've rarely seen that one. So that's good stuff right there. All right, let's go and check out. I believe it's the team that people want to see. We want to see them again because they're back on the mid event here for Righteous Stand. So, the curse of the broadcast, yes. And is no one on the team had Nat Bont. Yeah, that was the big breakdown right there. I like the person who said, I don't know who it was. Was it? It's Fitty. Yes, this is a pre-recorded wipe compilation. We just didn't add the Benny Hill theme underneath it, but we will for the future. Don't worry.
Oh goodness! Speaking of, we're getting some downs. Oh, that yeah. Things are going awry once again. The Rat Ogre's coming in. We'll see if they can get the revive. When the time comes, they just have to kite this loop out. Although they are getting a bit separated now.
Yeah, IB is dead. I think. Yeah, it's
Oh,
just the two left. The revive
Yeah.
might come up in time that they can pick him up. Yep, there it is. Let's see if this Carillion can save. He can save the Witch Hunter, but he's in a super sticky spot now. Oh no, he's able to cut through the middle. So,
okay. He was able to get out. That's good.
Yeah.
It's so sticky getting out of there. Like because especially with the monster up, because he just runs over the top of you while you're reviving, and then the person that gets up is like they have to get out immediately, assuming they even can. Like
Yeah.
if they have the chance to get out, because like it is possible you end up like Roto where there's just no chance, like you're just stuck. And oh my goodness, the hook into the storm. Things are yeah. This loop is like very hard to maintain, just because of the sheer volume of things that are trying to yoink you out of it.
Yeah, and the wave stalker goes down as well.
And there it is.
Unfortunate.
It's that's the big filter of the map. It's rough. It's like probably the hardest part of the map. I'd say it's harder than the end event actually in terms of like overall things that can go wrong. The end event is like really the only thing that kills you in the end event is you're tired by the time you get to it and you make silly mistakes.
I believe that has been the general consensus people have sort of expressed before, is that is the kind of the hardest part of that map. We'll go back to FFPG here as they are taking on, I believe this is the Forsaken Temple. I just thought it was interesting to get a look at it, guys, because I have not seen Necromancer gameplay. So this is kind of interesting to see a Necromancer at this level genuinely doing like the full Necromancer thing, except for those 3 lazy skeletons who aren't doing anything at all. Boy, yeah. Right in front of the boss too. Imagine that, just shirking your responsibilities. Pretty cool to see the Necromancer in action here with like the Necromancer staff and everything else. So we'll see how they progress here on Forsaken Temple, and we'll give them a bit of a watch.
Yeah, Sienna in a hot topic era.
Yes, very much so. Yes, hot topic era.
Yeah, so the Necro, she's really good at kind of controlling space, and with the Soul Sealer staff, it's Quebec, I don't know if you've played Darktide as well, but it's kind of like the Striker head pop where it kind of locks onto someone and then
brain burst,
it's like the brain burst, but the soul suck.
Okay.
Suck.
Well, I hate to interrupt. We'll come back to this. I do want to just give we're seeing a boss fight here for Rat Haters on a Mouse. They're fighting a Chaos Spawn on the start of Righteous Stand. So let's get them on sort of some boss action. We've not seen a ton of, I think, challenging monster fights. So let's see how they handle this one. They also have a Sienna. She's using the this is the one that's using the Scythe though on the Unchained. So bit of a different vibe.
Yeah, they're actually handling this spawn really well. It seems like they pulled it between hordes, which is what you want to do. And they've pulled it into this corner so they can hold the waves back while other people deal with the spawn in the corner, and it's gone. Based on what I just saw on the screen pop up there, it took them about 2 minutes to kill the spawn, so it seems like they were kiting it around for quite a bit before we popped in to watch the final phase of that fight.
Yeah.
Clean. It looks like it was clean. Like no downs. People are alive and chilling. I hope I didn't just jinx them for the updates time.
Not again. We can't do that. Not another time.
And they have elected to bring the Foot Knight as well, which is interesting. I think this is the first Foot Knight we've seen. So that's
I
cool
believe
to see.
so.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen quite a few teams have trouble with the mid event, and Foot Knight is definitely something that helps kind of stabilize that. You know, if someone does get a little bit caught off, the Foot Knight ult is super valuable to just kind of reclaim that space and free them up so that they can rejoin the kite. So maybe that's kind of their thinking here with this pick.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and I'm just going to go back over to the Necromancer for just a little bit. This is FFPG here, and we'll check back in maybe with our friends there at Rat Haters and On a Mouse when they hit the mid event. I'm kind of keeping an eye on some of our other streams as well. It looks like Shrimp is Bugs looks like they're still trying to fight their way through against the grain. Pandemonium Elite, they're back on Skittergate, currently fighting their way down the slope into the initial kind of teleport area. Bobers is still on Into the Nest here as well, unfortunate for them. Seeing if anybody else here has made some significant progress, but it looks like Righteous Stand, oddly enough, it does kind of look like for some of these tier 2 teams, Righteous Stand is almost acting as a bit of a check, for lack of a better word, to some of them. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, I mean, I did say that it's like, one of the classic modded maps, but like Hinkan has mentioned as well, like that mid event is like a true test of in my opinion, it's a real test of like the team's cohesion. Just kiting together is so important, and if you can't manage that, then as we've seen, like it really spirals very quickly. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, coordinated movement is something that's like probably one of the harder things to pull off in modded, just because of the sheer volume of things that can go awry, as we've seen when you're doing those loops and kiting. There's a lot of it's very easy to get ran over, and it's very easy to get yoinked out by specials or get disrupted by by like blight storms and monsters and what have you. Especially in those events, like the events are really like the parts of the map in modded, especially where things get tough and like you really see the difficulty spikes come out. And the pressure is pretty unreal, especially in this righteous stand mid event that we're seeing really big frogs try their hand at now. It's not easy. Like it sounds simple when you're planning it out. Like we'll just do a kite loop. It'll be fine. And then you do it in practice, and then you get the wipe compilation that we've been seeing.
And we've got another case of a Foot Knight here on the stand event, and this team, like as we were chatting about, they seem very, very tightly knit, and we'll see some value from the Foot Knight here. Someone gets hooked, and they're just saved immediately. Still not out of the woods just yet, but yeah, that's the kind of massive value that Foot Knight can bring. If something does go wrong, someone gets a little bit caught behind, they can just get all that space back, knock everything over, and get back on their way.
Yeah, I love the Foot Knight. This is one of my favorite just for regular. I don't play a lot of modded. I'm not good enough. But for the regular difficulty, I do love the Spear Foot Knight. I think that's a very fun combination. And you see those charges coming in huge right there, by the way. Look at all this space that's being cleared.
Yeah.
It's on. Is it going to be enough? Yeah.
Oh,
Does it?
Yeah, the Salts was a little unlucky there. He got hit by the bile troll vomit and was just stuck, like, molding for a little bit.
You hate to see it.
But yeah, the Foot Knight value is there. Like, the wide charges coming out, the hero time coming out. Very useful for maintaining a front line and maintaining a, like, cohesive kite loop. So it's cool to see that Foot Knight, the rumors of Foot Knight's demise may have been a little bit exaggerated.
I didn't even know there was such a thing, but there you go. Poor guy.
Looks like this team has cleared up the event spawns, and now all that remains is the troll. They just need to kind of kill him at their own leisure and then make their way up. Yeah, I think that's the first on-stream event victory we've seen here.
It
still could go wrong. Don't want to jinx them again, but it's looking good here. They've just got a little wave to deal with from the elevator area.
I mean, all they have to do is not wipe until they get over the elevator, and then they can wipe if they want. They want.
And then they can wipe, yeah.
The moral victory.
Yeah, the other thing with Foot Knight is the hero time value. Like, in that event, if someone gets leashed, you just almost instantly get your ult back. Tony Balance has changed it a little bit so that you don't get 100% of your ult back, but 70% instead, just because it was thought to be so strong that it needed a little check-in, little nerf.
I see.
Yeah, but since the cooldown is so short, it's pretty much always up if someone gets disabled. Kind of really solidifying the value you can bring.
Yeah, like it had to get nerfed because with old official realm like hero time, the meta was like to just not dodge disablers, just run into them and let the Foot Knight get another ult. Like you just farm charges and nothing can move and you just win. Like it was pretty ridiculous.
Fortunately, it does look like they lost. Is that Nestor here? So not
Yeah.
flawless, but close to it. I
Oh.
mean,
Another down.
oh, never
Oh.
mind. Spoke too soon.
Gee, we
But
haven't
like I
put
said
up-
earlier, as long as they don't go up the elevator, the respawn will still be down here. So it's really not as punishing anymore if people die
Oh.
down here. Yep, there they
Yeah,
are.
back in the day, you would people would spawn at the top of the elevator even during the like actual like event kite loop. People
Jeez.
could spawn up above and get abducted. It was
Yes.
yeah, it was way more punishing like than it is now, which is kind of crazy to say given that it's still plenty punishing as we're saying.
Yeah.
This was the experience of my friends, a couple of my friends and I, when we decided we were going to try Cataclysm for the first. Is it Cataclysm? Yeah, Cataclysm for the first time.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we'll just do Righteous Stand. It's the first map. And then we got to this part, obviously horrific, right? Like completely unprepared for this. And then, yeah, every time somebody died, they spawned at the top of the elevator, and it was just like, well, guess it's back to legend.
Just can't play the game for like 5-10 minutes as you watch your team
Going
struggle
to
without you.
legend. That was legend was fine. Honestly, in hindsight, there was challenge. So anyway, they've done well, I think, in general for just like keeping this together. This troll is just dying hard. He does not want to go down. I should say, in terms of oh no, please don't mess it up now. In terms of completions, it does look like Blind Faith has cleared this area as well. They had a very similar setup with a troll. They just passed it. I want to give them a chance to be on screen here in a minute, as well as they fight their way through the what appears to be the barracks section, but they have managed to get through this bit. So good on them. It looks like these guys have managed to do it as well.
Yep, yeah, they pulled it back. They made it. Like
Frogs advance.
one thing with this event is Bile Troll is probably one of like Bile Trolls are problematic because they don't die quickly, right? And the vomit can be problematic too, like as we saw with the Salt's Pyre getting vommed on and going down. But the thing is that Bile Trolls are also slow, and so that makes doing the kite loop a little bit safer on the whole, just because you don't have to deal with a Rat Ogre or, worst case scenario, a Chaos Spawn just running over the top of you. So it makes it a little easier. Like, you can slow the pace down a little bit, and so it's not so haywire.
Yeah, makes sense. It's interesting, actually, because if we transition over to Blind Faith, who are essentially in a very similar spot, they're running also a relatively, not the same composition, but they're also including a Foot Knight in their composition. So apparently just the popular choice for Righteous Stand. Maybe, is it generally just because of that mid-event, you think? And the utility that the charge gives you?
Noel can add to this if I'm missing something, but yeah, it's definitely the events. But also I think just stuff like these sort of narrow corridors where having a very like hard reset for the front line is good to have.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it probably was for the mid event. We saw Roto on a very similar build on the other map, but with the GK shield bashing. That might have been because they wanted some more DPS with the GK ult or the strength pot availability. But on this map, it really is just about like having a Spister or a Foot Knight or both in this team's case. It just adds so much kind of consistency to that mid event, because it can go so haywire so quickly, especially with you can get a Chaos Spawn, an Ogre, or a Troll, I believe, on base Onslaught, and that Chaos Spawn can. I think it really adds like another layer of difficulty. So having that kind of consistency is really, really, really nice.
Oh yeah, if you get a Chaos Spawn, that event is just an absolute nightmare.
I can imagine.
Very brutal. But yeah, like the space, like having space and like safety comes at a premium on maps like this. So yeah, the Foot Knight does make a lot of sense, and it's cool to see that people are still picking it up, and it still has like a very legitimate use case.
I do want to point out as well that Roto is using numb to pain, which means that his charge does not actually go through elites. It'll kind of bounce off them, so it does have a limited range for him. But if they position well, he can still knock over like the large majorities of the wave. But it's not like wide charge where you can literally just charge through everything and knock everything down. So
Interesting.
yeah. So in Tony Balance testing, it used to be the case that all 3 of the level 30 charges gave the kind of wide charge effect, but that was recently changed. So you now have to actively pick wide charge. But Roto here is just kind of padding out with the skinny charge and just
just doing it.
yeah, he doesn't need a wide charge.
Let's
And
go
that's fair
take a look
enough.
at the
Like,
team that people want to see really quick, because they're also on the mid event here, but with a Grow Knight, I think, this time. But anyway, yeah, continue, because the charge discussion is interesting. That's an interesting mechanic, and I didn't realize that there was that significant of a difference.
Yeah.
So-
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
for
you
it,
go.
okay.
So the thing with like numb to pain, right, is like, yeah, you give up the QOL or like the power of the wide charge, right? But numb to pain is like, I think it's pretty cool in the sense that like you don't have to worry about getting downed while you're charging, and you don't have to, and you can like charge through gas and things like that, and not have to be so spooked about it. Like if you're charging like straight into overheads and things like that, like you can do that and you'll get away with it. So yeah, I can see the value there. I guess the other like thing with wide charge, which is like a thing that doesn't happen super often, but there is the potential for it, especially if you're like fatigued or under high stress, is you may wide charge just a little bit too far and get stuck in the middle of everything. So yeah. I don't know what you wanted to add to that, Nolzy, but go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, there have been cases, or like especially in my case, where I'll just kind of press F as Foot Knight and charge a little bit too far and just ledge myself, or get into a position where I'm just instantly surrounded and die. So yeah, it can be a little dangerous having wide charge sometimes, but yeah, generally it is so much more useful to be able to just go, because one of the main things with Death Wish is like positioning is a lot more important. You can't go through enemies, and because of the high density of enemies, if you need to get somewhere, it's often very difficult unless you have a dash career. And wide charge just kind of provides that for Foot Knight.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely by far and away like the meta talent, right? The meta choice for that character. But I guess it's like, and we see Roto do this a fair amount, in particular, where he likes to take sort of the path less traveled, and I like that. It's definitely like a breath of fresh air, and like at the end of the day, like we talk a lot about meta and optimal and all that, but if it works for you, it works for you, and that's the important thing. So it's cool to see players kind of embracing that mentality and just doing what works for them, even if it's a little bit quirky.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
valid point.
Oh, this is the dreaded chaos spawn we were talking about.
Yeah, you were just saying how bad this
Yeah.
is, and well,
And there you go. Like it's just, yeah, it's like the most aggressive boss. And like the grab is obviously very difficult to deal with when there's 4 people kiting together. If the aggro of the boss is on, the person at the back of the group, it'll just do the grab attack, and the people, closer to the front will just like be completely unable to avoid it and just, get grabbed. And on top of that, the sweepy attack, it also hits enemies, and it can send them flying, send them in front of you, and then they kind of like form a mini roadblock. So yeah, I mean, the whole kind of hit of the Chaos Spawn is just designed to just ruin your day on this kite path. Yeah, but they seem to just be holding on here.
Leech. Yeah, the staff is the scythe is getting some value. That with that alt fire, like docking things a little bit silly for them to get some room.
Yeah, and we
Oh,
see again the foot knight value. Someone gets leeched for a split second, and they just have their ult back. They can just charge straight out of a super sticky situation. But
those
they've
leeches are menacing right now.
yeah, the foot knight, despite the charge, is still in a very sticky spot.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
he
they're
grabs
they're
out.
on the edge there. Oh, okay. Down to the last player here. Unchained has to clutch up. Maybe they can get this res.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez, he's not gonna get it. It's just too much.
they went for a drop res where you can kind of start the revive as you're still moving, and then drop off the ledge while you finish off the revive. But they weren't able to just connect just about. They'll have to kind of kite this one more loop, and maybe
Just
it's
one more loop, bro.
just one more loop, bro. Please, bro.
It'll be fine. I just need one more loop.
The one thing the Chaos Spawn can provide is a little boost if you jump as they're doing the running attack. It can like kind of boop you away from what you're dealing with. Oh, let's see.
Oh, they got some space.
No.
Uh,
Oh
no,
no, it's all over.
They really wanted to get that res. They did not want to. They did not want to take the path of one more loop, which
Yeah.
is understandable because, like, again, it is a 3-hour block. Like, it's a lot of time, but also it's not a lot of time at the same time, right? Like, I said time a lot there. Anyway, yeah, sometimes when a situation is getting out of hand and it's just going wrong, and you're already how far in are we? We're almost 2 hours in now. So when you start getting to that point, the fatigue starts setting in. The stress starts, like the pressure and all that is there. Especially in like people are watching. It's a tournament setting. Like
Yeah.
there's some pressure there potentially, depending on like depending on how you approach it.
I mean, me personally, I like the pressure of playing on a tournament it really adds a lot, and like the kind of pressure of having to beat a map on the first try, the urgency that adds, and yeah, like you mentioned, the fatigue, like wiping deep into a map and then having to restart it from the very start on like more of a like as the clock is ticking, it's tough on the mental. So hopefully they're not too disheartened and they can just keep grinding on.
Yeah, and the mental really is a big factor, right? Especially if you're like the kind of if you're having the kind of tournament where you get to the very end of a map and then wipe in like some sort of tragic fashion. That can really be a tilter. Yeah, you can get some real tilter type of wipes, and like teams definitely try to deal with it as best they can. But there's no denying that those things they take a toll, and they are a big fatigue factor too. And like once you start getting tired, you start making more mistakes, and things start sort of spiraling. And sometimes it's best to just cut your losses and move on to the next run or move on to the next map, depending on how you're doing.
Well, I wish that it was that easy to accept the inevitable, but sometimes it's quite hard. So let's see if we can get let's see if we can get this. It looks like it's who is this? This is Skittergate. We've got a couple of teams going through Skittergate right now. I wanted to get Elite. Or sorry, Pandemonium Elites. I wanted to give them a chance to prove themselves yet again, because we saw them do this boss fight. They lost. They did well. They killed the is it Bone Rattler? Death Rattler. That's it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. They killed Death Rattler. I want to give them a chance to do it again on stream, but it should be noted that Sigmar's weakest followers, one of our teams who I think have already played, they are also on this same spot. So we might jump back and forth between the two of them.
Followers.
Huh?
decidedly not the weakest
No,
followers.
definitely
after
not.
all,
No,
and making it this far.
not by any stretch of the word are they the weakest followers. I think it's been fairly established that they seem to be quite capable, all things considered. So, but yeah, let's see how they handle Death Rattler and friends again here. Also, the aura on Death Rattler to just let off that burst right there at the start, so you know what's coming. Gotta give him some credit. Showmanship is high in Skavendom.
Oh, they are melting him.
Yeah, you could see the GK kind of posturing with the strength pot, chugs it as soon as he drops in, and just smacks Death Rattler for like half his health there. So that's a good start to the fight. But yeah, like Death Rattler's already dead. But yeah, like we saw last time, they had trouble with this section of the fight where Rasknet just teleports around. Let's see if they can.
I think the idea with this comp is they're going to try and get NG value, because NG should be able to dunk on Rasknet pretty well.
I keep forgetting they have an engineer.
Assuming he doesn't die, you know.
He is looking dangerously low.
Yeah, like as soon as I said the NG will dunk on him, he like got put down to like 2 health.
I think it's you and Ken. I think you're the curse here.
I might be. I might need to.
We've managed to narrow it down to just one person. Oh no, Grail Knight is down. Will they get him back up? That's the thing. Yeah, nope.
So they bubbled the Grail Knight who was on the floor. I think his strategy could be to bubble the person that's going for the revive instead, so that they don't get interrupted.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
They managed to get him up anyways, and they're back to bullying Rasknet.
This is a genuinely difficult fight. I feel like this feels much better than last time they were here, though, but it also, just looking at these health bars, this could go south so quickly. And unfortunately, right as I say it, maybe I'm the problem because the engineer goes down right there. So somebody's the problem.
I think we're all the problem.
Yeah, tomorrow, we're switching things around, so maybe it'll be more successful, but there's also the higher difficulties. There we go. Now this is what we're talking about, just beating him in a corner. That's what
there you go. It's very cathartic to just bully him, because he's so annoying with all the dots. He just, like, they're not even like high damage, they're just these little dots that just interrupt you, and he's just constantly doing them, and it's so annoying.
Kick him to death. Come on. Oh, they're so close here. Like, they have to get this. So that's good. Decent bubble there to keep the Grail Knight in the fight. And they got the engineer back up. Okay, I mean, it could be worse, I think, is an important thing. It could be worse. Oh, no, they got him. They got him. He's down. He's on his knees. It's just a matter of kicking him to death. They'll do it.
Excellent.
Thus always with rats. And on they go. So, and what a marvelous opportunity, by the way, for that to happen right at the top of the hour here as we enter the last third part of our stream. As an excellent reminder, that is a victory worthy of a donation there, folks. So why don't you go ahead and click on the link there for APOPO, the charity that we're supporting here, and give them a look at a bit of a donation based on that. Surely a victory is a worthy cause for a celebratory donation to a worthy charity. We're doing everything today in favor of APOPO, a charity that works to use giant pouched rats to go and detect landmines and detect tuberculosis. They work all over the world. They've cleared I think 100 million square meters of landmines as an organization. And yes, the donation link is pinned in the chat, and also Janani has just put it in the chat there as well for all of you. So do a victory celebration here for the brave members of Pandemonium Elite there, and donate a little bit to charity. And the screen shake is in fact going crazy. it's very true. Absolutely love it. Now I'm going to transition over here to Sigmar's weakest followers. I'm going to give you an advanced warning. I think this is a YouTube video, so the quality is going to be a little bit less, but I don't want them to not have their opportunity to fight the same boss on stream. So it's going to be a little rough, but bear with us. Let's give them their chance to see how they handle here this kind of same fight. They're, I think, having a significantly rougher start, but their health pool, their overall stability as a team does seem a little bit better.
Yeah, it looks like they've also dealt with
Watch out, Witch.
the Death Rattler phase, and now they're dealing with the rest, and it's CPing around again.
Yeah,
I
he's
saw the
relatively low too. They're actually like getting him down.
True black rats at me.
yeah
And
Warrior Priest
then-
down here, but it should be good to revive. There it is. Yeah, I saw the Battle Wizard with the Beam Staff. That might be their strategy to just kind of keep the Battle Wizard safe so that they can just, bully the bully, and so to say, and just keep staggering Raskinit out of his own staggers with that ranged weapon.
It looks like they might have this, actually. Your Raskinit's really low.
Yeah, I think he might be TPing around already. Oh no, he's still in the corner. Given in the holy great hammer.
yeah,
the
he's
Reckoner.
doing the teleport around now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they just need to clear up these storm vermin, and they should be in the home stretch.
yep, yeah, they're just cleaning up now. Excellent. That's awesome to see. This fight is just a big, like, war of attrition essentially. So the sooner you can clear it, the better. But it can take a while.
Yeah, no, good for them. I'm glad that they got the victory there. Both those teams, I think, were really working at that particular map for a couple of times, and it's a long map too. I think that's the other thing. I mean, I know that the time there's a time limit. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but that it very much is a long map. So good effort on both their sides there to pull that one out, and big credit to them for doing it. So. Love to see it on stream too. We didn't curse him that time. Now I'm trying to get a look-see here at one of our other teams. This is Rat Haters Anonymous, who we've had on a little bit here. They're on the mid event, but I think they're having a little bit of chop here on their stream. So we'll see if we can get a better quality version of that up for you guys. And sure enough, there we go. This is the Unchained with the Scythe. We saw them, I think, a little bit earlier handling a Chaos Spawn. They've now made it back to the mid-event and are trying to handle this one as well. And hopefully we'll see some success from them. I mean, the other a couple of other Tier 2 teams look to have managed to get past this point in Righteous Stand. I think it might be the team that people want to see, or Blind Faith, one or the other. Blind Faith, it looks like, is getting very close to actually the end event here for Righteous Stand. So good to see that from them. We might actually see the final map in the pool from them, depending on how this plays out. And that's Trail of Treachery, by the way, is that final map. We haven't actually had a chance to see that one yet on stream, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. It's also like it's cool that we have this like narrative of like people getting absolutely wrecked in this mid event, and now we have a bunch of teams that have come back and they've redeemed. They've brought it back.
Double storm.
Oh, that is.
That's just unfortunate. That's like a hurricane inside a hurricane. That's just so bad.
The thing with the storms is like, especially the double ones, is like after you end up in them for like a while potentially, and it's like you just want to get off Mr. Bones' like wild ride, after a point.
I love that reference, by the way. I don't. Do people still get that? I feel like it's gone beyond what its origin were. I know this is absolutely not related to Vermintide 2 whatsoever, but I tried explaining I tried explaining Mr. Bones' Wild Ride to someone yesterday, and honestly, I could have been explaining like Skaven or something, like the way that I was just like, what are you talking about? Anyway, it's just too deep in the internet culture. But hey, well done, Rat Haters Anonymous, by the way. TM, Rat Haters Anonymous, TM. I keep forgetting the TM. Don't want anybody stealing that. Careful what you put mouse TM though, because there's a certain company that might not like that. But I imagine that was part of the play right there. If we're being honest, but yeah, they actually did really well right there. That looked dangerously efficient. So that looked real competent, and I don't know how I feel about that, all things being what they are. So good for them.
Yeah, the onto the barracks section of the map, which can be a little bit tricky as well. You know, sometimes a lot of ambience hiding on the higher levels that drop down and cause problems. But yeah, hopefully with the Foot Knight they'll have the stability to kind of get through it without much problem.
Yeah, the barracks is definitely a bit of an awkward zone where you're kind of like you really want to push through it like immediately, but also you're kind of not allowed to do that.
Yeah, and that room that you kind of come up the elevator into is super comfy to hold. So you do always have the option to go back there if you kind of get surrounded. And they got a chaos spawn, so they might
Oh,
be
that's a
going
nasty
back.
trigger.
Yeah.
I want to
Oh.
see the fight with the chaos spawn, but I also want to point out, and we're gonna take a blind faith. Is only a bounty hunter left. It's a desperate last stand. So I want to see what happens. I genuinely want to see what happens.
Oh no, they're so close to the end event. Too.
They are,
Right
yeah.
there.
I've been watching. There's a couple of the teams here are getting really close to the end event, but yes, the bounty hunter all alone here trying to rescue his team at the tail end of this, and I feel like I have to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
He might have to do some dirty deeds to get through this one.
I feel like I shouldn't laugh at that, honestly, but you got one, so congratulations. Oh my gosh, is he gonna get it? Yeah, yeah.
Got it, yeah.
Well
Foot Knight is up.
and then the Foot Knight's up, and that's probably a full save right there, actually.
Oh, there's nothing dirty about that at all. That was clean
No,
as
that
hell.
was very clean. Yeah,
Super clean.
well done. Really well done, actually. That's crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter is not known for his clutching ability, but looks like this guy got it done.
It's the flail, man. The Flounty Hunter. He's got that big BH energy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he did actually absolutely save that. So really, really impressive that he managed to pull that together. I'm gonna go back now to Rat Haters Anonymous because they are still fighting that chaos spawn in the barracks, but I didn't want to miss out on that epic clutch right there. That was worth seeing.
Also, I did just realize that's a 100 health bounty hunter as well. He's like not running bonus health on his necklace. He's a very squishy bounty hunter.
What a hero! What an absolute Chad.
Giga Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's one thing Blind Faith are known for, it's like the off-meta picks, and they continue to be known for that. So yeah, it's good to see that.
Yeah, and they make them work.
Yeah. So yeah, this team's back in this elevator room dealing with the chaos spawn, and it's quite nice here because you can deal with the chaos spawn in the back while maybe the rest of the team, if you have a horde, they always come from that singular doorway, so it's quite easy to keep them kind of under control while you deal with the boss. But it looks like they don't even have horde up at the moment, so they're just kind of dealing with the boss, and there it goes. It's dead. And back to holding the doorway. I will say the one thing with this comp is it's a little bit lacking in boss damage compared to some of the other comps we've seen with GKs and bounty hunters and shades and stuff. But it's a little bit more girthy, a little bit more stable, and it seems to be paying dividends.
Yeah, it's also I do want to say that the scythe gameplay that we've been seeing, like the Unchained scythe gameplay, has been really good. Like it's kiting with the scythe is not the easiest thing in the world, and this is a very kite heavy map. So yeah, really cool to see some pretty masterful work there with the scythe.
Yeah, they've been one of our more entertaining teams to watch here so far, and they really have been doing an excellent job. Gonna just go over to Really Big Frogs here because Really Big Frogs is at the final event here on this same map. So we have a couple of teams who are actually in this this final map territory. or final event territory, I should say, and I want them to all get their chance to be on stream here as well as they fight it. Let's watch them handle it here, and I know that there's some choppiness on their feed, so there we go. We got a better one there, and should be able to watch this play out in relatively straightforward. So bright. I don't know. They must have their brightness cranked up to an insane level because this is just hyper bright
Blinding.
right now.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ambient light quality settings. It really bleaches the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
They've been cleaning this temple, man. This is clean as heck.
sparkly white. Yeah, I think it's like one of one of
Yes.
one of the light quality settings. And I think sometimes it doesn't always look this sparkly white, but yeah.
There might be some gamma cranked up too.
But yeah, this event, it's as a lot of events are in the modern realm, it's about kiting. There, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 monsters on base Onslaught, but yeah, you have, there's a guaranteed monster, you have to deal with it, and the general strat is to just kind of kite around, go up the stairs, drop down, and go around the back of the statue.
Yeah,
And
you
it
kind of
seems-
just run a loop around.
Yeah, you do a
Um,
little loop. Seems like they're managing pretty well.
Yeah,
Oh,
they are
Oh
managing
yeah, it's
quite well at the
literally
minute.
the end.
Yeah, so this event is kill based. It'll progress as you kill things. You don't actually have to kill everything. You just need to kill enough things to get Sigmar to drop the hammer. He needs you
Yeah.
to pay taxes before he'll drop that hammer for you.
Sigmar has in fact dropped the hammer, and you don't have to kill anything once he's done that, but these guys opted to kill the troll. Very, very good form from them. Made sure no troll left living.
Excellent. Love to see Righteous Stand getting conquered.
Yeah, and that means they'll be moving on to a Trail of Treachery as their last map.
Oh, I'm hyped. As soon as we transition to Roto, he's just vomit on screen.
Yeah, Frodo's team seems to be, they're 1 member down, but in a decent spot otherwise.
Their temple's a little bit darker.
Yeah, not as sparkly clean as the other teams. Frodo's looking a little bit low on health, kind of concerning with the troll and warp fire and gas all over the place.
Yeah, I think that was probably the troll vomit. Like, once you get stuck with that, you take a fair whack of chip damage.
Yeah. They're able to get the revive. The Flouncy Hunter is back online.
Oh, the glorious Flanty Hunter. Also, the Nat Bond, Sister of the Thorn. You love to see it.
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like they're pretty stable here. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, I don't want to say anything actually until the hammer comes down, so to say. But yeah, they've kind of stabilized in their kite rotation. They're in a decent spot. Everything is kind of clumped up behind them, which is what you want. A little gunner causing a little bit of trouble, but should be able to deal with it with the sister.
Oh, the cheeky swipe got through. But back up and stable, no worries.
Yeah, and it does seem like it is only 1 monster on base ons, and both teams had a troll. Yeah, I think they have finished. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Roto's jumping down into the bubble.
We got a little bit choppy
See
there
it?
at the end.
A little bit choppy, but you know, we see the end result. Roto is able to clear it, and yeah, he'll be onto Trail of Treachery as well.
Awesome work from Blind Faith.
great stuff from them. Another team, I think, doing a really just a really good job. It's been good to see our teams putting in some serious work here on the tail end of this. We have about 45 minutes left, so we're trying to make sure everybody gets their chance on screen. Let's see. We've seen really big frogs. They came through in a big way. We've got nobody's really in our teams that we have right now on the stream. Nobody's quite at a big moment yet. I'm just gonna go over to Bobers really quick. Bobers got a little hung up on Into the Nest, so I wanna give them an opportunity to show their stuff a little bit here as well. In terms of scoring, I don't know. Is there kind of an update or an idea of who's technically winning in these categories? Not that it's the most hugest thing in the world. We're here for charity, not competition. But I don't know if the two of you are aware of anything.
So in terms of scoring, that usually happens like once the event
It'll happen
concludes.
post. Okay.
Like once the stream, yeah, because people need to like post their scores. We have like a score calculator available in the Discord, and like people just post like what maps they completed and how many attempts it took, and then it's calculated from there. And we'll figure it out in post, essentially.
If only everything were so easy to figure out in post, I must say. But Bobers is they took them 3 tries, I think, to get into the nest. You can see there on the side of their screen, so they've definitely been plugging away at it. I'm looking to see if any of our teams have started Trail of Treachery yet. And I don't really see that anyone has, because obviously, we do have teams who are in position to start it, but it looks like they're maybe prepping for it, for lack of a better word.
I believe the team people want to see have started a Trail of Treachery.
Oh, okay, perfect. We'll get a look at them as well in just a second here.
And Roto's team is literally just like dropping into the map.
They're
at the very
loading
start,
in.
but,
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of scoring, it's based on what we've seen today. I don't think there's been a single team that's been flawless so far with like just not wiping at all. It's been this map pack, or this set of 4 maps is certainly not the easiest we've ever seen on a Onslaught series, and it seems to be catching up some of the teams. That being said, like we've got some teams on the 4th map of 4. If they can get the win here, it should be pretty good for them. In terms of winning. And yeah, this map, it's a really long map, so hopefully as the 4th map, they'll still have the kind of stamina, the mental fortitude to kind of see it through to the end. It's it's certainly not an easy map, and it's also one that's not really commonly played in a modded as well, so I guess teams won't be as familiar with all the hold spots and stuff. I certainly am not. So, watching this, it'll be interesting to see if different teams hold in different places, if they have different strats, different comps. And yeah, so this team seems like they're sticking with their bread and butter comp of GK, Witch Hunter, Waste Stalker, and IB. And yeah, they seem to be all right with the start of the map here, coming up to the first. I believe it's the first trigger area. They might have already dealt with it off stream, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they've quite. Again, this is also a map that I'm somewhat unfamiliar with. I've played it, a couple of times, but not to any excessive degree. But I think, yeah, they are coming up. I'm pretty sure there's a trigger at the or around this like little outpost thing. So, if anybody in the chat probably could correct us if they know. But yeah, just wanted to also take an opportunity here. We have a lot of teams obviously participating today, and I want to shout out some of the other teams that maybe didn't make it on the stream because of issues, or we just didn't have enough time to get everyone, or what have you, or they played at a time where we couldn't quite have them on. So obviously we've seen Rat Haters Anonymous, we have the Bobers, the team people want to see, Blind Faith. Who else we got? Really Big Frogs. You've seen them on stream here today. Barden 1129 was another team. I know that they've been going right now, but we just couldn't quite nail down the stream comment quality with them. So unfortunately, we haven't seen much of them. But a big credit to them for participating here. Three Heroes in T-Con is another team. They played earlier today. The Inters Nationals were also participating. They played, I think, maybe played earlier as well. The SOBs, or it's O with a slash through it. I believe that's pronounced in a way that I absolutely cannot, but they're around here as well. The new Nylon team, they're from China. Thank you so much for participating. Salt Lord Scuttlers, we had them playing as well. The family friendly gang, we talked about that a little bit. The Mimi World Anti-Rat Association, another one of our Chinese teams. Patrol No Name, M How, thank you guys all for participating here in the tournament. tinyurl.com/YC23FA7W. You've seen a bit of them, I think, playing. We've just been calling them Tiny URL, but that's their full team name. Sigmar's Weakest Followers, obviously we've had them on stream here as well. 3 Hours in Prison, Spring Blossoms, Chaos Wasted, Why Is Everything Upside Down, Rodent Extermination Squad, the Helmgart Runners, Fancy Rat, 91 Rat Hub Blogger, no idea, Cousins, Shrimps is Bugs, Pandemonium Elite, and Team Wipe. And there is, I think, all of our teams that we're playing here today. So as you can see, even just from this bit of the stream, we really have just barely scratched the iceberg of all the teams that were participating in this charity tournament. So a big thank you to all of our squads there, and I wanted to give all of you a bit of a shout out here as they fight on this map. But it looks like they have found a little bit of a hold spot here, the team people want to see. They're just sitting at the top of this ladder, and that is proving to be incredibly effective. So good to remember for the future.
An absolute meat grinder there. The rats climb up to the instant demise. It looks so. One of the mechanics on this map is there's 2 beacons that you have to kind of go out of your way to light, and if you do so, you get access to a storage room with a lot of items and heals and bombs at the very end of the map, right before the end event, and also kind of bonus area inside the end event that opens up that really also has more items, but also really allows for more kiting. And it does seem like this team will be utilizing those beacons as they lit the first one there. Yeah, so it's a cool little thing. It definitely adds another dimension to the map. It's and I would recommend it, I guess, in the tourney setting if you want to secure as many items and as much comfort on that final event, then yeah, you would want to do so. Especially if you in this tournament you only have one attempt. As we kind of come to the last half hour of this allotted time, they'll only have this attempt if it goes the distance, and then they'll have to stop. So yeah, it makes sense that they'll kind of secure as many items as possible.
Yeah, it's you can really not understate the value of items in Verm, especially in modded. Items are just they're just very high value items, especially if you get stuff like strength pots or bombs or healing. Healing comes at a premium, because it's very easy to get downed, and that can spiral really fast, especially if someone is on their last life and they cop a stray gas globe or a stray overhead. you know, and then suddenly you're down a player. Like having that healing is just very important, and having like the bombs to create space or like clear out enemies so you can keep moving, and having the potions there too for like dealing with pressure spikes. It's all anything that helps you deal with pressure spikes is super important in modded, and so the more items you can get, the better.
Yeah, I just swipped
Yeah,
over
and the
really
final-
quick to the Bobers, by the way, just because they've been fighting the Storm Fiend, I think, on and off for a little while now. And I know their stream is a bit choppy, but I figured it was interesting to see how they handle it, because it's really been a challenge here on this lake bed because of all these kind of changes in elevation or stuff. It speaks a little bit to what you guys were talking about earlier, how if the Storm Fiend kind of like runs away or like gets onto the high ground where you can't hit it, it can just extend a boss fight for a really long time. And this is basically, I think, the perfect illustration of that in real time right now, is them sort of slowly bleeding away here while they're trying to fight this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is what makes Storm Fiends an irritant. You know, they're not very threatening on their own at all, but you know, if you get into a situation where you can't like focus it because you've got hordes coming from all around, or you're in like a location that's just very cramped and you can't really move forward onto him, or if he's doing what he's doing right now, or he's just up on that cliff, like out of reach of melee. Um, and you're on a team comp that can't just like dunk him from range, like this one, it gets nasty. Like it becomes a very drawn out battle. But it looks like they did just cliff him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they did. Yeah. So they did handle it. I mean, it looked like for a while there they were basically just trying to put as much distance as they could between themselves and the Storm Fiend, as they just kind of ran for it. But it does look like they made it. So, or they got rid of the Storm Fiend at least. So they're on to the next part of this. But I just wanted to put it out there because it was such a good illustration of exactly what you guys were talking about earlier with the just kind of the forever battle. I'm gonna go over to Tiny URL right now, and Tiny URL, they are in a situation that probably looks a little familiar because they're at the mid event for Righteous Stand right now, and we know how much of a pain that this has been for a lot of our teams here throughout the day. So give them a chance to show off here as well.
Yeah,
we hope.
Like as many teams have struggled here, but it seems like they have just gotten to the end of the event. They've cleared up all the spawns. It's just the troll that remains. They did have someone go down, but yeah, like I said, like he'll just respawn down here, so it's not too big of a problem. Yeah, and like from this point, it's just kind of cleaning up. Yeah, business as usual. Seems like we've had a lot of teams get a troll down here, which is pretty fortunate.
We only, I think, saw one team that wasn't fighting a troll. I think there was the one team that had the dreaded chaos spawn, but I'm pretty sure everybody else was was dealing with a troll in this area. So
yeah, and they advance onto the elevator.
well, good for them. They again, I want to give as many teams a chance to show that they can clear these events as possible. So no doubts. That's not to say that I doubt anyone. It's just, we want them to be able to show it on stream. So good on them. And then I think we have Ged, Maryland, and the folks of Rat Haters Anonymous. They might actually be here on the end event of this. So I want to see if we can get them in here as well. Make sure that we have the best feed possible for them too. There we go. So they're on the end event here for Righteous Stand, and again, we've seen a couple of teams handle it. Also, a lot of trolls on this particular portion. So yet again, we have another. That is unfortunate. It looks like we're having some issues with Discord here as well. So we'll have to see if we can get Incan and Noel back in here in just a second. I tell you what, folks, if it doesn't rain, it pours here on the Fight the Tide stream. So there they are. Or
Hello.
there they
okay,
will
we're
be.
back.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just saying, if it doesn't rain, it pours. Everything going wrong here at one point in time as I try and transition through these various scenes. But it looks like you guys are back in and can be heard, so we're good. We're back at it. But yeah, end event, another troll is what I was saying. It's a very troll-oriented day over on Righteous Stand.
I think every single Righteous finale we've seen a troll. Maybe it's guaranteed. I'm not sure if it's a guaranteed troll on base Onslaught, but it feels like it.
I think on base it is guaranteed troll.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I think for a while, like in the early days of the other Onslaught mods, it was also a guaranteed troll, and then that got changed like later. Yeah, it's guaranteed on base Onslaught.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that explains it then. It's not just a traveling troll conference. It's guaranteed.
It's the mid event where the troll is not guaranteed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So just unlucky on that one then.
Yeah.
Well, like you guys were saying, I mean, this is survival, right? Basically, at this point. So Amber does appear to be glowing. So that's good news.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
As Incan mentioned, it's based on kills, so you can just kind of hide around, chip away at the things that spawn in, and eventually you'll get enough progress that the hammer will pop everything else.
But not bosses. It doesn't pop bosses.
It will kill bosses, but because trolls have that kind of invincibility phase where they they go down and you have to phase them again. They don't instantly die. But if it was like an ogre or a chaos spawn, it would just instantly die.
Oh, okay, all right, good to know here. Yeah,
Roto in a
URL
very
in the
sticky
barracks here.
situation here.
Yeah, there's a couple of sticky situations because we had Roto and company. They were kind of trapped in a rough spot. These guys were also fighting out of a rough corner here in the barracks, but it looks like they managed to pull it together. They do have one teammate who is down here though, Crunch, who they're trying to get back up. So we'll see if he can, if they can pull that out.
Yeah, the barracks can be unforgiving.
Most of the teams here today seem to have handled it relatively well. But yeah, it definitely has been a place where I think in previous tournaments that we've had or previous events that we have had, we've definitely seen people kind of struggle with it or get caught out and basically get beat up in this area. But it does look like Tiny URL and Co. Have pretty much managed to do the hardest part of this and are now just working on clearing the stairs. Just really quickly, I wanted to bring back up for everyone's benefit, because we are reaching towards the end of our stream here, our charity info. So everything today is being done for APOPO. We mentioned it a couple of times on stream, but never can mention it enough. That these guys are essentially responsible for using giant rats to kind of detect landmines and tuberculosis. They're making kind of huge strides. They're actively researching in that regard as well in order to find, I think, better ways to make that happen. So just give an opportunity there one more time to plug them. We'll probably mention it again at the end of the stream. But you can find there, I think, in... there were some pins. The link was pinned in the chat, or you can find it on our Discord server. I know that Gennady has put it in the chat as well a couple of times. But going back over to Blind Faith now, it looks like they got out of their difficult situation here, and they're approaching the sort of outpost here on Trail of Treachery, which is one that we were talking about, guys, because like we said, we haven't seen it very much, but we did see a hold spot in this initial area from one of our other teams. We were on it for a little bit, and it looks like they're trying to fight their way to it now. And of course, it does have the snow Skaven in it, and it's I don't know. Are the snow Skaven like a problem, guys? Because I know that for some reason people were. You might have even said it earlier that people didn't really care for the snow Skaven.
So there is a tourney legal mod that you can basically remove the snow-covered aesthetic of the enemies. But before that mod existed, I honestly did not like this map just because I've had such a hard time being able to see like the enemies. They literally camouflaged with the backgrounds and yeah, it was kind of tough. I, I think Roto is not using that mod though. The Skaven
No, they look
have
normal.
oh, they look normal. Oh,
They
okay.
look de-snowed. That's what it
These node, yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Or no,
it's a
they
sunny
with
day.
snow. Jesus Christ! No, they look like they have snow on. They are not. They have snow. They are snowed on. There we go. Good Lord, someone help me. It's been 2.5 hours. So
It's been yeah, exactly. It's been a long cast. Yeah, you're right. They do have snow, and you know, Roto, he does love his immersion, so he's got that authentic aesthetic for this map, not the
Gotta
cheater
respect it.
aesthetic.
The
Yeah,
cheater
gotta respect it.
aesthetic. Oh, come on.
No, I say that as someone that uses the mod and will not play this map without it. So
Is it just like a
Um,
visual thing? Is it just like you tend to
yeah,
lose
it's
track of
purely
them?
visual.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll just change the models of the enemies to how they look on other maps that don't have snow. But yeah, this team is also going for the beacons. It seems this is like the kind of path to getting the first beacon. You know, you have to climb a few more ladders. Another one of the team might have already done so actually, and they're just holding it here in the meantime. Yeah, they seem pretty cozy here, just waiting around.
Yeah, everybody seems to be treating this particular hold spot, or we've seen this hold spot a couple of times here, and everybody seems to be handling it pretty well, and this does seem to be like the spot that people want to play around. So yeah, good on them for handling it. This is similar to what we saw from our other teams, and I think it was Incan maybe who mentioned how long this map is. So I think we're gonna be, we're probably gonna be seeing these teams going at this up until the end of the tournament here. And obviously, technically, the timing, I think it's what you can complete your last map, right? Is that how it goes once the timer has passed, or the midday
Yeah.
time
If
period?
you're still on a map when the timer runs up, you can finish that attempt and it'll count. So
Okay.
if you started up an attempt like within the last like 10 minutes of the 3-hour block, like you can run that map.
Okay.
But that will be your last run though, is the thing. So that's like a
Understood.
very all or nothing on that one. You're all in at that point. Yeah, but yeah, some of these maps do get pretty lengthy. Like, I don't think it was this one. I think it was Nolsey that mentioned that this one's relatively long. But Skittergate is a pretty long map,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think you mentioned that too. But it's it's a cool map. Like it's now that it's like actually Onslaught like ready. So that it's cool to see it in action. Especially like Nolsey was saying with the beacons. It's definitely something that I think teams are gonna just do because it just makes sense. Like
Sure.
I always think what would Gandalf do, and light the beacons.
I shouldn't have laughed at that one either. You're getting this. You're getting these way too easy. That's just not. It's counterproductive. At this point in time.
I don't want to admit how long I was waiting to do that one.
He's scripting. He's got a whole writer's room. Like, all right. What beacons? What do we got on beacons? Yes, fair enough. I can't. Yeah, I was in a movie theater like 2 weeks ago watching the extended edition of Return of the King, so I can't talk. It's good stuff. It's good reference.
Oh yeah.
That cleans up.
I watch it like every year with my partner's family.
Yeah.
Like it's like a tradition. Yeah, it's great. My goodness, the back and forth on this bridge. Oh, the gas claimed someone. That's like gas in for people who don't realize gas globes in Death Wish are like way more dangerous than they are in official. I forget what the damage boost on them is. It's like I forget the exact numbers, but it's significantly more like significantly scarier. On official realm, you can kind of sit in gas and be fine. You cannot get away with that on modded. You will just melt.
My lord.
Yeah, and to add on to that, the suicide explosion also does a lot more damage.
Oh yeah, those are scary.
Yeah, so those can definitely cause like entire wipes because often you're just grouped up as a team and they'll run in, explode, and deal damage to the entire team. So if you're in a already sticky spot and you let one suicide on top of you, then it's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they finally maybe have managed to get the better half of this bridge section done here. There's I'm keeping an eye on things and how they're going here. The team people want to see, they're actually at the cogs and gears part of this map. So I might give them a chance to show their stuff here as well. Looks like, yeah, it looks like they are at the bit where is this, I guess this is the mid event for this particular map. So that is where they're at. I would really like to I'm going to try and get a little bit of a better source for them because I know this one is stuttering a little bit. Again, it's all a bit haphazard being held together by string and tape right now. But we're trying our best here. It's very Skaven, honestly, in the way that things are going on the back end. Let's see.
Nice. Okay, the biggest danger is that.
Yeah, so this med event, it's
There's one more coming.
I'm not actually sure I've played it on a base Onslaught, but it's pretty tricky even on like official. Like there's a a lot of enemy spawns, a lot of directions they can come from, and I believe on Onslaught they add a monster, or that might be plus. But yeah, it's an area that can get quite overrun by Skaven. They just kind of come from all angles, make it pretty difficult.
Flaxen, that's a really good question. Does it matter where we donate? I see Google form links. Does PayPal still work? I actually don't know. You might want to ask in the Discord, or perhaps if Janani sees that in the chat, they might be able to clear it up for you. I only know about the donation link. I don't actually know what the best way to do it is, or if it matters where you donate at.
I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how it works. So I've asked Exan and Gennady to get back to you on that one.
Somebody will have an answer for you, I'm sure, here.
Yeah, hopefully they can pop in and sort that when they have a chance. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, yeah, any link on the Google form works. Okay, that's what I wanted to say, but I just wasn't sure.
No, it's good. It's good. We want to get our information straight here. We don't want to be making stuff up.
It's a 3-hour block for us casters too. We get tired.
Yeah, that is unfortunately the truth of the matter as well. Yeah. Anyway, this is the team that people want to see, and they've pushed past that COG event, so they're on to kind of the next part of this. And I forgot, like how long this mission is and how annoying it is to have to follow that sleigh. I forgot. And this is even talking about the end event now that I'm starting to remember this map as we watch it being played and how horrible the end event for this feels for me.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to support Ishka, you can send a nice email to or a nice message to them on Discord. I'm sure they would appreciate it. If you want to support Ishka. That's very funny. Poor Ishka. Yeah, Ishka was supposed to be here with us today. Unfortunately, they had they caught sick, so they weren't able to do it. But they were also supposed to be on tomorrow. They won't be. I'll be back tomorrow, but we're changing some casters up. I think XN is in here. Are either of you guys coming back tomorrow? I actually don't know off the top of my head.
I will not be here tomorrow. I'm busy. Alas, so I'll not be
Imagine.
here. But yeah,
It's
yeah,
Lonk and
if
Exon
everyone
who are joining us tomorrow. Lonk and Exon, so that should be plenty
okay,
fun to
that's
see.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like you were saying, Ishka is ill at the moment. So if anyone wants to wish him a get well soon, I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Thoughts to Ishka for sure. It sucks to be sick,
Yeah.
and you know how everybody in this community who knows Ishka knows how much these streams mean to him. So yeah, they were very disappointed that they couldn't be here for this. So,
Yeah, he does amazing work for the community, and amazing work for Onslaught series, and yeah, he's very committed. So yeah, it's a shame, but that's all right. We've got Corbeck to pick up.
yes,
Which
yeah, we do.
just like yeah, also thanks for being here. It is awesome that we have you available.
My pleasure. I love the game of Vermintide, and I love you guys. So always happy to be here to participate in these streams when I can and do what I can for you. You know, it's a lot going on. It's a lot to capture, and especially for charity, you want to give everybody their chance to be in the sunlight and get some gameplay out there. I know that these people, all these teams are obviously they work really hard. They put in practice and whatnot. Everybody working to ensure that they're putting in their best performance, especially in a competitive environment. So the least we can do is try and get these guys on stream and give them a chance to show off what they've been working on. So that is ultimately the end goal. Looks like Big Frogs is also doing this map. They just escaped a very gnarly situation, and I'm gonna try and get them around here and get their stream up as well. It's gonna be a little bit choppy here at first, just because that's what it takes to swap over like that. But hopefully in just a second we'll have them on a more stable stream for all of you who are watching.
Send the rats. Yeah, that's a good idea.
There we go. Send the rats. No, I think we're good. I don't know about that. There's only 300 of them, so we don't want to stretch their resource pool. Anyway. Yeah, this has been an ongoing fight here for Really Big Frogs. Actually, we're joining it a little bit late, but just a few seconds ago, they were really like trapped in a corner. I mean, I say trapped. I do believe it was like an intentional hold spot, but they were really in a kind of a deep fight, and they managed to get out of that and sort of push this along. But as you can see, like it's still still a pretty difficult little situation here for them. And again, the length of the map cannot be overstated, and it almost feels rough that this is the last map in a 4-map series that you have to go and do this really like genuinely hard long map as your last map. But I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles here on this today. But I don't envy them having to try and fight their way through Trail of Treachery after already fighting their way through the rest of a very challenging map pool.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a massive wave of storm vermin there. Footnight went down, but like just before that, got the firebomb off, so they were able to kind of clear up. Yeah, and this team is kind of a little bit further behind compared to some of the other ones. They're like close to the start of the map. Yeah, just before the area with the first beacon that I mentioned. Yeah, kind of progressing on. This Footnight really likes like the spear and shield, it's alt fire. It basically, while you're holding block, you can get an attack out. And it's super safe, using a little bit of your stamina, but it has a lot of stamina bars, so they're able to just kind of hold the line, poke out some damage while being completely safe. Pretty neat.
Yeah, it seems to be working out pretty well for them. I already mentioned I love the Foot Knight Sword Shield combo, or Sword Spear combo, or Shield Spear. My gosh, is very fun. I don't think there's a Sword Spear combo, but an interesting idea nonetheless. Gonna go pull up FFPG.
That is a very interesting idea.
I like it a lot. There's a character in one of the old Soul Calibur games, I think, that had a combo that was like that. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up FFPG here because they're running the final event of Righteous Stand. Yes, their stream is a little bit choppy. That is unfortunately just the nature of the beast for this particular Twitch channel. So doesn't prevent them, I think, from getting their opportunity though to show their stuff, and we'll see if we can get a slightly more high quality stream for them as well. But they are on the end event. They are also getting that guaranteed troll. We talked about that earlier, so they've got to kind of kite that and try their best to survive here. I mean, we've seen multiple teams do it, and I think the way that we were talking about it earlier, I think it's actually harder probably to do that mid-event, truth be told, than it is to do to kind of do this end event, because everybody seems to handle the end event significantly better when push comes to shove. So
yeah, so the end event, it's got like opportunities where the enemies have to climb or drop down, and it gives you a little bit of like breathing space. They're coming up to one right now where they can just kind of drop down, have a little bit of space to breathe and kind of reset and keep going, do a little bit of damage if they need to. Whereas the mid event, it's just a big circle and enemies come from all angles, all sides there, so it's a little bit less forgiving in that sense.
Yeah, you don't have these big like obstacles in the way to like force the loop to be, more loopy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you're cooking today with these.
Very
You're
technical
cooking.
terms.
Oh my!
I'm sleep deprived. That's what.
Oh yeah, is that it? You and me both.
Really efficient.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of this. Actually, this has been very, just very clean. I will point out, I
very
think
loopy.
Very loopy. Everything's a little loopy here right now. I will say all the teams that we've watched handle this have all been relatively efficient. I don't think we've really seen anyone who struggled a ton, but this has been very clean in general. Good kill right there, by the way, to shut down the Blightstormer as well. Yeah, we just watched them grind
Bounty
this out.
Hunter's got that. Oh, the IB got a little bit stuck there. They're a little bit caught behind, but yeah, like we said, with all the drops and stuff, they're able to kind of catch up without too many problems. The other thing is this event, the kind of quantity of enemies you have to deal with is probably a little bit tamer, and they kind of trickle in at a more reasonable pace than the mid event. Specials as well, there's kind of like less specials. So yeah, that kind of all culminates to just the team's just having less overall trouble with this end event, which is good to see. It's also good to see since it's at the very end of the map. If this was the trickier one, and you grinded for these guys are what 48 minutes.
That is very true.
And it would be so heartbreaking. So yeah, they deserve this win after what they've been through.
After what they've been through, yeah, give it to them. You're right. They deserve it.
Yeah, and by no means is it like an easy event either. So
No, not at all. And I mean,
They
it
do still have to earn it.
it is funny the way that I think we kind of tend to talk about all this stuff. We make it sound as, we're obviously commentating or talking about it, and it is sometimes make it sound very easy. It's not. It's not at all easy. It's very hard, actually, to the point where I think I mean, I'm not sure that a lot of people in I'm not sure that a lot of people in the kind of broader Vermintide gameplay of people who are still playing who are not already doing modded difficulty could handle like some of the challenges. This, like, I certainly am a person who I don't think would have an easy time handling a lot of this. Just the sheer like combo and the coordination and everything that's involved is genuinely very impressive. So. And obviously tomorrow we're going to have our highest difficulties, and the wipes are probably going to be a lot more frequent on that. But again, it's another thing where it's the difficulty level is just so astronomically high. Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow is DWONS Plus and Dutch tier difficulty, both on C3. And the map pack is also pretty challenging for those. Someone was asking about a quiet drink in the chat, and that is one of the maps for tier 3 DWONS Plus. So that's a fun one to see. It's not as common, obviously, and it's fitting since it's the 7th anniversary of Vermintide. So kind of celebrating on the anniversary map.
Yeah, I totally forgot we had quiet drink in the map pool. That's awesome. Yeah, that'll be very exciting to see.
Yeah, it's
we might have cursed
can't even
another
imagine
team,
what that's
actually,
gonna be
'cause
like.
they're down to 2.
That's fine. Just one more loop, bro. Just
one more loop,
bro,
more
please.
loop. No,
it'll be fine. Just one more loop.
Just one more loop. Oh god.
The progress on that middle statue is very high. So I feel like they're pretty close to.
They gotta be close.
hammer,
They've been at this for a while.
There it is. There it
Yeah,
is.
there it is. There you go. Okay.
We didn't curse them. We're good. We're fine. Yeah.
Not our
so
fault.
You don't need to get all 4 into the final bubble. You just need at least one person to make it in. So, and they get 2. So congrats to them. They're able to continue on to Trail of Treachery. Oh, actually, I don't believe they can.
No, they're at the end.
Now,
the time has
the top of
just wrapped up. Yeah.
So yeah, at least they're able to end on a victory there. So that'll feel good at the very least.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I wanted to get Blind Faith back, but it looks like they literally just wiped on Trail of Treachery, and so because that happened at noon, they're not going to be able to start over, which is just very unfortunate timing there for them. So you hate to see that. Still some teams going here though. The team people want to see, they're still at it. On Trail of Treachery, I haven't actually seen any of the teams, and we'll as long as you guys are available, obviously I don't want to keep you past what the allotted time is, but we will try and finish this out with whoever's the last team standing will go as far as they go basically here on Trail of Treachery. So we'll see if it's gonna be the folks for the team people want to see, and then I think it might have been Rat Haters Anonymous. They're also still pushing through, but it does look like the team that people want to see, they might actually be here at the end, or close to the end event, if I remember correctly. So.
Yep, you do remember correctly. This is like the kind of doorway into the end event, and based. Oh yeah, this is in the end event. Yeah, this end event is pretty rough, even on like base kata. You have to find. It's really long. You have to carry the torches to 3 different locations. It looks like this team did light the 2 beacons, so they have access. Oh, actually, I think this is part of the regular map, but they do. Yeah, they do have access to the extra area that you can unlock. That opens up this whole crypt area where you can kind of kite around, find some more items, and if it really goes haywire, you can, take your time and run through here. And it looks like they're just kind of they're just clearing through it, getting the items, getting a barrel. I love to see the barrel.
Barrel gameplay.
Our gameplay is
Barrel
the best type
gameplay.
of gameplay.
I love to see the barrel too, to be honest.
A fire barrel too.
I have a stupid
Excellent stuff.
question, actually, and I feel like you guys would know, and I'm kind of ashamed considering the amount of hours that I have in this game that I don't know the answer to this question. Does the barrel damage scale? Or no? Is it always just the same flat damage on any difficulty level?
It's the same, I believe. It's just flat damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it is just like a flat damage, but I'm honestly actually not sure.
That's why I
yeah,
say
I think it is
I'm
just-
ashamed to even ask that question, but I feel like I should
Don't
know
be
that.
ashamed.
But
Hey,
it's
don't be
like,
ashamed. I don't even know. I don't fucking,
it's like
space
I've always
hours,
wondered
fine.
about it too, because you're like, okay, well, this is a really high level. Is there any point to like doing this, right? Like, is there any point to throwing the barrels? But I guess there always is disruption. I should say, Rat Haters Anonymous. It looks like they did not succeed at this map, so they are out. Unfortunately,
Unfortunate.
but it looks like okay. The people that want to see, they're the team that people want to see. They are in on this. They are going for broke. So we will give them the credit of hopefully they finish this out successfully. And then I believe FFPG might also be doing this map too, but they might have started a little bit late. And then Tiny URL, by the way, they just completed Righteous Stand, so credit to them there too. So good job. That'll be their last map, I guess. I should clarify.
To all the teams.
So.
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with the actual event on Onslaught of this end event, but it seems like these guys have a strategy where they want to start down here. I don't know if that's because there's a boss that they want to deal with or just kind of gather everything in one location. They're eyeing up the fire bombs and stuff, so maybe they just want to deal with the initial waves down here before they make progress on the actual end event.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we were saying earlier, this map is to a certain extent, this is kind of uncharted territory. So we're not fully aware of like how it plays out. But it does look like this might just be a good hold spot because of the jump. It reminds, yeah, it just reminds me a little bit of it's not Into the Nest, the one in the Ganglands where it's like the warehouse is on fire. It's almost kind of like that, but now unfortunately they're getting
the pit.
Thank you. Yeah, they where you have that jump that allows you to get so many kills, but they are being kind of pushed back here by these waves of Chaos Warriors. I mean, as I guess you would expect. There's the barrel gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. Barrel gameplay. You love to see it.
That one's a little
bit gaming. It's a little bit.
That one was not as great. That's okay.
Got the elf's feet a little bit there. Oh, and they've got a chaos spawn in
there. You go. Well, that makes things a little bit harder.
All right, they're gonna try and just bully him down with items.
They've got so many staggers ready for him. The GK ult, the bombs, the troll hammer torpedo.
Yeah, they're just gonna.
Yeah, they've just kind of
bully him down with items.
Well, and there he goes. Very, very well executed boss kill there.
Yeah, that's definitely how you want to do
little
that.
room. Yeah. So I guess it was their plan to just kind of wait down here with all the items and just nuke the boss when he came.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, thank you, AKG Skull, for bringing in your Raiders here. We're just on the tail end of the stream. For those of you who are joining us, obviously, technically, time is up. This is one of our last teams that is just trying to complete this map. They've just killed a Chaos Spawn, and now they are proceeding to now kill Bile Trolls. So, more fun. No rest. No rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked. And I would assume that there's only two monsters, and once this troll is dead, they'll be free to kind of progress with the event and just deal with the regular waves without the worry of monsters.
He's getting bullied. Poor guy.
He doesn't know what to do. He's just kind of stuck in the room.
He just clocked in for his 9 to 5, and look at what's happening to him. Hate to see it. Are they leaving it? Hiding it? Interesting.
Seems so they don't want to kill it. It seems. This is interesting. This is uncharted territories for me too. So it's you know, I like seeing what sort of strats people come up with. And yeah, it seems like they just want to keep the troll at a lowish HP. And yeah, looks like they're now going for, oh no, hiding back up. But yeah, it seems like with what they've killed already, that the event spawns are pretty chilled out now. So they're kind of free to just roam around this area.
Yeah, very interesting strats that they've employed here. I wonder what this event is like if you're like doing this just out in the open the whole time. I imagine it's a bit
Rough.
Imagine it gets pretty sketchy pretty fast. Yeah.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I obviously can't speak from experience, but just based on general observation, it's probably pretty hard.
Yeah, the terrain out here is pretty like nasty.
Unfavorable,
I know that
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
It looks like they're retreating to their hold spot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like really, when it comes to modded, like even though a lot of strategies do involve kiting, they involve kiting because like they have to. So if you can get away with holding in like any event or any like in any situation, like whether it's an event or not, holding is always far easier and like safer than kiting.
Yeah, it seems like they got one torch in, and now that probably triggers a fresh wave of enemies and specials. So they come back down here to deal with that fresh wave. And I assume once that's cleaned up, they'll go do another one and kind of just keep repeating that. Very stable way of dealing with the event. That being said, this is a lot of enemies. They've got the troll hammer, they've dealt with the troll, and it looks like it's just clean up from here.
They handled that very well. It gets crowded in there very quickly.
Yeah.
Although they do have that like little bit of space there in the back, so I guess it's like it's crowded, but you do have some wiggle room.
Yeah, there is actually a way out of this area up those stairs, like that back room. There's just like a staircase that goes all the way up back to the regular event.
Interesting.
So I was a little bit confused as to why they went all the way around instead of just taking the stairs. Oh, it looks like they've got another troll. So yeah, they did want to keep the troll alive, just the next one didn't spawn, I guess.
My goodness, how many monsters does this event have?
Yeah, it's just I see why it's the last map of the bunch. It's not easy.
I see why you'd hold down here. I wouldn't want to be upstairs with that many monsters and all that stuff.
Yeah. This is like a very stable strat, but I can see teams going for like a a strat where they get like a handmaiden or a shade to just kind of do the event while the other three kind of do their best to survive. But it looks like even with this kind of bunker strat, they're having a little bit of trouble, but they're able to get the revives. And yeah.
This is pretty. I mean, this seems to be relatively clean. The way that they're handling this. It's just long. This feels really grindy. Whoever was saying this map in the chat, I saw you and you were like, "This map isn't that long. This feels friggin' long to me, man." And I'm not playing it.
Yeah, these guys are on
55th. That feels long as
minute.
Long as heck. It's long as the friggin' reach on one of the pack rats when they pull you through like 3 different walls.
Yeah, just a quick 54-minute adventure in and out.
In and out, quick
Like-
54-minute game of Vermintide on an incredibly high difficulty level.
Yeah, at the end of a 3-hour block. I mean, you know, that's what could go wrong.
The map is very short if you're not playing to win. Yes, that is true. I love to see it. Oh man, somebody's down. They got him back up. The fight continues. I mean, this is a brutal fight. I really like. I do quite like the way that they're playing this. This is very clever to use this kind of like just basically big, long, elaborate tunnel system for kiting. But oh, you hate when they get cut in a corner like that and just get smashed.
Yep, let's go.
Yeah, and like even with the kind of security of this strat, it is also a battle of attrition. And the witch hunter eats that running attack and just folds over.
Oh,
Is he just dead? It's hard to tell because there's an
Yeah,
ape skull
he-
there.
he's just
Yeah.
gone. He is
Yeah.
just
He-
gone.
He looks like his picture right now. He's just a skull.
You hate to
Yeah.
see
And
it.
yeah,
Yeah, just crumpled over like a sack of potatoes.
yeah. The other and another troll. Oh my goodness. It just doesn't stop.
I don't
They
understand.
need to go back down.
I don't understand what's going on here. You like, do they just have to light the fire
Yeah,
or
they just
whatever?
need to make progress. Yeah, they need to make progress with the
'Cause
torches.
this is
So
just
they-
starting
they
to look
just-
bad.
Really should have healed that.
They just keep getting trolled until they finish the thing.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, you could say
That's unreal. That's such a crazy event.
Get him out of here.
that.
Get him out.
yeah. Just we do a little bit of trolling.
Yeah, keep getting trolled. Oh my god. Yeah, the problem, like, genuinely, though, the problem is this has just become too much attrition, right? Like, I don't, like, you genuinely have to make things
Yeah,
happen.
and there's that staircase. It seems like they had opted to keep a door closed, and maybe opening that door will now kind of lead to enemies kind of coming from both sides while they hold down there. But they had to get these revives. So yeah. Looks like they'll be able to stabilize at the very least, but it does not mean that they're quite out of the woods yet.
Healing here as well.
Still have the troll to deal with,
Some healing.
probably infinite trolls to deal with, and just the rest of the event.
Help.
So according to chat, it's 16 monsters in total.
To exhaust it?
Yeah, to exhaust it, I
thought
think.
that was a joke.
Yes. 16 monsters in
Sir?
total.
I thought that was a joke.
Which
Is
is,
that for real?
I think it's for real.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's-
so specifically to
crazy.
prevent doing what this team did. Oh my gosh, look at all these Chaos Warriors. Oh no.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot of
oh,
Chaos
no.
Warriors
Oh,
on top of
no.
all this.
It's fine.
Oh,
Okay, Grim
God.
was cooking with this event. Oh my god.
That's
Okay, I'm-
crazy.
I'm starting to see how doing this event outdoors looks like now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, it's bad.
Oh
It is hell. Oh, my
Oh, no.
goodness.
no, he's not able to get the
Oh,
revive. That was
for the
so
lady.
close.
Come on, brother.
Uh,
You can do it. I believe.
Not. He's not sure on the exact number, but it is a lot. So okay. Whew.
Oh. Able to kill one disabler. I believe there's still a hook alive.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just-
they're-
this is also props
There
to
it
that
is.
Chaos Warrior for jumping that tiny puddle in the most
Yeah.
dramatic fashion
I saw
possible.
that as well. That was glorious.
Oh, he
little
is-
jump.
One giant
Getting
leap for
shit
Chaos kind. Anyway, run, Grail Knight, run!
He's
Cheeky
able
heal.
to heal on the drop. Nice.
That's good. Excellent work. Yeah, those gun rats were really chipping him down.
He's got a good buffer of HP. He just needs to be able to
Oh,
deal
no.
with the disablers, and he should be able to get the res, hopefully.
Oh, you have more faith than I do,
Yeah,
I'm
this is-
afraid. This is big
Yeah.
scary.
He's he's got that one pot. I think he's on concoction, so he might he's chugging it for that speed boost. Just to get up
Oh.
this winding staircase.
Oh no, that's so bad.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
so bad, and he's going all the way back down. That's
Oh my
wild.
god.
He's
Oh my
he's
God.
friggin'
He's
Super
got the
Mario
moves.
jumping
He's
in.
out of here.
He's treating the Chaos Warriors like Goombas. That's amazing. Oh
Dude, he's
no!
The vertical
No,
leech.
come on.
The
No!
vertical leech. Oh, that's so tragic.
He was doing
Oh,
so well.
it
He was
was
doing
really
so
well.
well.
This absolutely heroic endeavor there. Oh
Oh.
man, you hate to see it.
Yeah, close match.
Really, really nice try.
It was,
Oh, that-
yeah.
That denial at the top of the staircase was just
Oh,
the
I
end.
know.
Like,
That's just
brutal.
sad. Well, it's a good, you know what? It's a good end there for the stream though, and a valiant effort that doesn't quite work out in the end anyway. Very Warhammer-esque ending here for the today's Tier 1, Tier 2 stream. Again, just a reminder, everything today was done for APOPO, a charity that uses African giant pouch rats to detect landmines and now to detect tuberculosis. They're working on getting them to detect other diseases. As of 2023, APOPO, they've already successfully demined more than 100 million square meters of land across Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. So the donation link, I believe, is pinned in the chat. You can find the information on our Discord as well. A big thank you to so many teams that participated today. I think if you include our Chinese teams who weren't on the stream and the other teams that weren't on the stream, we're looking at like it's pushing like 25, 20 something teams. Like it is a lot of teams that participated today. So thank you to all of you who made a turnout here for charity. We really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed the competition. Just here at the end, I mean, I'll let Noel and Incan, I want you guys to both share your thoughts on the day. Anything interesting that you saw, or your final wrap up here. So we'll start with you, Incan. What do you got?
I mean, it was an awesome event, as usual. It was really cool to see some like off-meta stuff happening and some sort of more like fresh takes on comps and things like that. So that was interesting to me. And it was also really cool to see the new maps, like maps we haven't seen in the tournaments before up to this point. And it was really exciting. I mean, that last trailer, Treachery, like clutch attempt, that was super exciting. Like that's a crazy way to end the stream.
Very
So,
good end to the stream.
Yeah.
Agreed, yeah.
Just, GG's to all the teams. We love running these events. And don't forget to donate to the charity. And I also did just link the Discord in the stream chat, so if anyone has questions or wants to join in, join the Discord.
Yeah, I can't add much to that outro from Incan. I mean, yeah, really, really cool seeing all these teams. The newer maps from Onslaught, from the game that we haven't seen on Onslaught series, like that final map we just saw. It's really cool to see. And yeah, thanks to everyone involved. Thanks to you, Corbeck, as well for handling the streams. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow for Tier 3 and Tier 4. Some awesome new maps as well there.
That's right, Tier 3 and Tier 4 tomorrow here on the Fight the Tide channel, where Lonk and XN will be joining us for that. Big thank you, of course, Incan and Noel. Thank you guys for your time here today. And, we thank you also to the behind-the-scenes work, Gennady and XN and all the team there for making this all put together, our modders and what have you. But for now, from all of us here at Fight the Tide, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with more Vermintide action. Until then, have a nice day.